Good morning, Raptor freaks. Lexiot's here, and it is Thursday morning, and the Raptors won against the Memphis Grizzlies in Memphis last night. Another very convincing, great win. Another nice, huge lead. Lots of stuff the Raptors are doing right now that's very impressive. As far as I think that the thing I like the most about this new look in 2024 is that our guys aren't like playing half-assed and then trying to play catch up. I think that the fact that these guys are taking it to people and just scoring and scoring, as Darko said after the game, I told them, don't look at the score. Don't look at the score. Don't look at the score that you're up 16 and just keep playing right and keep playing the right way. And don't worry about what the score is. I like that. In some ways, we're doing the work ahead of time instead of wasting our time and then trying to make it up all the way at the end. And that really was a lot of like not just this year before the trade, but also last year. A lot of the last year of Nick Nurse was like kind of like let's screw around most of the game, and then we're so talented, we're just going to try and win it in the last 5 minutes. And no, we're not doing that kind of crap. In fact, you see what happens, the feeling that of security and how you feel when you actually kind of like go get the lead and build on it and kind of like you're on top for most of the game. I mean, it's fun to watch games, isn't it? In some ways, we're getting to watch games right now that are more enjoyable just because the Raptors are more successful, more capable, and good things are just happening. So, man, wow, what an exciting time to be a Raptors fan. I know that we could get really overly optimistic after things like this, but honestly, I see things that are going on with our team right now. They're like championship level kind of role players and different things filling in. Like, I think the roles are being played right now. Quickly is a very specific role. Jakob is a very specific role. Chris Boucher is a very specific role. And it's all integrating in a way that makes it really like winning stew. I always use the analogy that we need to get the right ingredients in the stew. Well, our stew is tasting really good right now. You added some RJ and some Quickly in there, and you took out some Precious, some Malachi, and some OG. And wow, the stew tastes different. It's got a different taste to it. It's a spicy barbecue yak stew at this point. I really like that name, Spicy Barbecue Yak. Serving it in your town soon. We're coming to your town, and we're going to give you a big, huge helping of Spicy Barbecue Yak. That's right, Spicy BBQ Yak. I love it. There's already like people making art of the spicy barbecue, and I love it. I love it, Raptors culture. You go, and what a great time. A lot of the negative Ninny fans can't find anything to be upset about. Some of them on Twitter are saying stuff like, I haven't been this happy about the Raptors in so long. I have nothing to complain about in this way. Oh my gosh. That's so awesome. I'm glad that these people have been had salvation from their horrible, sad lives because the Raptors are playing capable, good basketball. Finally. Oh my gosh, it's so good. All right, let me see what y'all are saying in here. We'll do the 5 stars of the game. First, actually, let me do this real quick. We do have a 9:05 game today, G League game. 9:05 are playing the College Park Skyhawks today at 7. So tune in tonight on YouTube, and I'll be in the chat if you want to hang out with me and some of the other regulars. I know some of them are here already in the chat with us. We'll be there at 7 o'clock. College Park versus the Raptors 9:05. First of 2 games that they're going to have in Atlanta against the College Park Skyhawks. And, of course, Marquise Noel and the group will be there, and it'll be awesome. So here's your refs for that game real quick. We've got Danica Mosier as our crew chief today for the G League game. Danica has actually got a profile, so I can read it off for you. She's in her 3rd year out of Freeport, Florida. Her favorite TV show is Friends. And she likes the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I wonder what she thinks about the new Willy Wonka that just came out. Like, it's goofy. Like, why are they making Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory like every 20 years or so? It's like Gene Wilder is always going to be Willy Wonka. I mean, Johnny Depp did pretty good when he did it, but he was a little dry and kind of creepy in some ways. And you got to have that nice, warm feeling of Gene Wilder. I don't know, but Danica's favorite movie is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I'm going to guess it's the Gene Wilder one, not the recent one with Timothy Chalamet or whatever his name is. Favorite musician for Danica is Justin Timberlake. She also likes the book Lying with Strangers. Her favorite meal is oxtail. She'd most like to visit Thailand, and her bucket list is to own a cat cafe. That's right. Danica holds a bachelor's degree in biology and nursing from the University of Central Florida, and she was a standout basketball player at Freeport High School in Florida. She got her start as a referee working intramural games at Central Florida. Yeah, Danica's an interesting ref. I don't have the stats for her for 905. I could go look at the ones for the Raptors team, but I'm not going to bother. The referee is Julian McFadden, and the umpire is Jason Albanza. So yeah, check it out. 7 o'clock. Raptors 905 G League action against College Park tonight. So yeah, the games still keep coming, y'all. We are on off day with the Raptors, but we've got a G League game today to watch. Awesome stuff. All right, let's check in with the chat and see who's here this morning. Cowboy is first in today. Canadian Cowboy Bradley, good morning to you. And bam, dap. Good morning to the Raptors freaks. Wow, does this team look good with RJ, hometown Barrett, and Quickie Mart? Let's go, Chef Darko. Let the win streak begin. Yeah, 2 wins now. One more win away from Darko's pizza party, as y'all keep putting in. I want to believe that it's more of a pizza party. Actually, you know what? They're getting dinner tonight. That's what Darko said. They're going to go to Sacramento today. They're going to fly in, and then he's going to take them out. They're going to have a team dinner tonight for more bonding. 11-day road trip that they're on right now is a really good thing for the new acquisitions to really get around the team and be around them a lot. Sometimes if they had came during a homestand, well, it's really kind of like figure out your life here in Toronto and doing all kinds of stuff. You may not be around your teammates as much because that's kind of how it is when you're at home. It's not like the team hangs out with each other a lot, but if they're on the road, they have to be around each other a lot because they're in hotels and they're riding around and they're going to dinners and they're doing stuff. So in some ways, the timing of this road trip is fantastic for getting Quickly and RJ around our team, learning and talking to them and figuring things out as quickly as possible. Now, Darko said after the game, Manuel Quickly is still learning our team, learning our other players, and that he was not happy with the fourth quarter and the way things went late. And in fact, this is the thing I love. This is our coach, y'all. Coach Darko is a badass. We could not assess him in any kind of legitimate way for the 2023 portion of this season. The team just wasn't playing to a professional level where you could say, well, that's the coach's fault. No, it was the players' fault the whole time coming up to this point in the schedule with the record and the way we were playing. And now that they're playing capable, it's awesome. And yeah, we won these last 2 games. Yeah, he's got lots of tape. But is coach resting on his laurels because we getting W's? And he's like, oh, I feel good. We got W's. No, he's not. He's going to pick that tape apart. And he's going to look at everything from the last 2 games of the new guys. And he's going to fix it. He's going to fine tune it. He's going to say, y'all, we could do better. And Quickly's echoing the same kind of thing in his post-game interview too. He's like, listen, we did good. We won, but we can still do better, y'all. And I love that. That's what a winning kind of team does. In some ways, it's not good enough what they've done so far. They could perfect it. They could do better and better and better. And that's what I'm looking forward to is Darko's adjustments and trying to make them look better and better and fixing stuff before we have to actually lose. That's the fantastic thing. A good coach that's like that will go and look and see where the problems are before the problems become something that add up to a loss. He's going to go figure it out, and he's going to sort it out with them. And because they're listening to him, they're anxious. They're excited. They want to do right. They're going to listen to him, and they're going to improve on the fly, even maybe avoid catching L's from things like that. So I'm excited. I really liked hearing what both Emmanuel Quickly and Darko Rajakovic had to say in their interviews after the game. Quickly is a very special player. He's super, super positive. And I love that Darko told him last night, I want you to go out there and be yourself. I want you to go out there and have fun. It's the same kind of stuff he was saying to Malachi, other than calling him ugly when he doesn't smile. He was saying, Emmanuel, I just want you to have fun. And Emmanuel said, you know what? I've never had a coach just tell me that. It's like, you're not having fun out there. Why don't you go have fun? And Emmanuel's like, I like that. I don't expect Tom Thibodeau to come up to Emmanuel Quickly and say, you're not having fun. It's like, well, Tom, you're not having fun. So why should he tell anybody that they're not having fun? Because Tom's usually not having fun. He's always looking like, nah. Well, Darko's over here. Hey, Emmanuel, you're not having fun. He's like, oh my gosh, my coach just told me I'm not having fun. And now I feel good, even though I didn't play well in the first quarter because I missed shots and I wasn't connecting with people right now. I feel like a burden is lifted off my shoulders. And now I'm just going to go off and have an amazing third quarter. That's awesome stuff. That's amazing stuff. Excuse me. I love it so much. Oh my gosh. Cowboys saying, and Messiah and Bobby pulled off another historic heist. Heist. It does feel like that, doesn't it, Cowboy? I mean, the Knicks are playing at the same time as us last night. They're playing DeMar and the Bulls. And OG, he gets like 11 points, and Precious gets 4. They get 15 points. Meanwhile, our newly acquired guys from the Knicks get 40 points collectively between the two of them. Yeah, I don't know. It's both adding up to winning. OG had a very good plus minus last night, the highest for the Knicks, and they won. So I'm sure they're not complaining. But also, the very interesting thing that's the byproduct of this trade this weekend is that we have a lot of New York Knicks fans that are fans of the Raptors secondary. I'm noticing this. It's like RJ and Emmanuel were very, very popular players in Knicks Nation. And I think that we're getting some of their fans now vicariously rooting for us. They're saying things like, okay, if you're not playing the Knicks, I'm rooting for the Raptors now. I can't hate on that. That's awesome. Knicks fans, if you want to be hybrid Raptor fans also because of RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly, welcome. 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 In some ways, we have a great storied history between the Knicks and the Raptors. Not only are we involved in a lawsuit right now, but the very first ever NBA game was played between Toronto and New York here in Toronto at the Maple Leaf Gardens, the Knickerbockers versus the Huskies. And so there's a long storied relationship between the city of Toronto and New York, obviously, and sports. And you know what? This is a weird kind of place to be with y'all. You know, you're suing us. We've got a couple of your very popular players now, and a lot of your fans are becoming a little bit of fans of the Toronto Raptors at this point. I'm not mad at this. I'm not mad at this at all. As I've said before, I'm very much on record saying that out of all the Atlantic Division opponents that the Raptors have, the Knicks are the team that I like the most. I've always liked the Knicks way more than the Celtics and the Sixers. And also, yeah, of course, fuck Brooklyn. So, yeah, this is cool. If we're going to have a little bit of a hybrid fan base between the Knicks and the Raptors because OG's on the Knicks now and RJ's on the Raptors, hey, I'm all for it. Welcome and peace and love and prosperity to all fans of RJ and OG. How about that? Well, I'll say that. We're meeting at the Peace Bridge in Niagara Falls in Buffalo, and we are meeting at the border, and we are shaking hands, and we're saying, you know what, New York? You know what, Ontario? We're cool. We're cool like that. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like this new thing that's going on right now. Trevor J saying, good morning, Raptors family. We got another one. Let's go. Let's go. Look at those faces. I see Pascal. I see RJ. I see Scotty. I see Emmanuel. I see Jakob. I see Dennis. I see Gary. I see Masai. And I see Darko. Thank you, Tom Duke, emoticon gnome in the middle of the night coming through and bringing us our good emoticons on this channel. And Trevor's words of wisdom for today, guys. Happiness is not about getting what you want. All the time, it's about loving what you have and being grateful for it. That's it right there. Gratitude. Practice it every day, and your life will be much happier. Thank you, Trevor J, for your words of wisdom. Preach on, Trevor. Preach on. Let's go, Raptors. That's right, Cowboy. And good morning to Cowboy from Trevor J. Yes, good morning, sir. Trevor J saying, man, oh man, IQ caught fire last night. And Pascal and Scotty, we are a different team. Catch us. We outside. Catch us. We outside. No, we're inside, and we're bombing it inside. And oh, there's so much to talk about. Let's start with the 5 stars. Since you brought up Emmanuel quickly once again, he is my number 1 star of the game last night. It's obvious. The thing that I give him the number 1 star for is the 5 of 8 shooting from 3 last night. We have not had a 3-point shooter that's so confident and capable like Quickly on our team in a long time. I'm sorry, Gary. I wish you were more like Quickly, and maybe Quickly can rub off on you, Mr. Trent, because that would be fantastic. I was really mad at Emmanuel for a second there when he took that one shot when nobody was back on defense. There were 4 Grizzlies back, and he's at the top of the key, and he does that little sidestep, and he just bombs it, but is so confident, and it was just so money. I was like, okay, I can't hate that. I can't hate that. And then he's hitting deep ones too. And I'm like, wow, this guy is like a Maxi. This guy really is in that ilk, in that kind of player. And the relentlessness of our team coming up and down the court. I mean, we were half-assing it. I'm sorry. I see the difference between this calendar year and last calendar year. And y'all were lazy last year. The way that you're getting up and down the court at this point is like, all right, you told on yourself. We see what y'all can do. If it is Quickly and Barrett coming in, if it's the infusion of energy, the newness of it, that's enthusiastically coming out and the energy put out on the court, well, I'll take it, whatever it is. Jack Armstrong going crazy during the game about how energetic the Raptors were in all kinds of different ways. And I agree. It's fantastic. It's a joy to watch. And oh my gosh, Jakob Pertl. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see more about quickly. 26 points in 33 minutes. I love the points per minutes. 8 of 18 at the field. He did not shoot well in the first half. It really was that third quarter he exploded and went crazy. In fact, he came out and he scored the first 5 points of the third quarter, and Tyler Jenkins had to call a timeout immediately because it quickly was a one-man wrecking crew. As soon as we came back from the half, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block, 1 turnover, a +9 with 26 points. He was the second highest plus-minus on our team after Boucher. So, man, quickly, listen, we don't need you to do this every single night. Now, I could see you doing better than this. I could see you doing just a little bit worse than this, and it's all going to be fine, my man. It's going to be fun, and it's going to be really interesting to see how we divide up the water where we pour it on our team players as far as who's going to get the offense and most of the shots. In some ways, I'm really seeing it like not having any kind of weird conflicts or weirdness as far as people are getting the shots that they need. I worry about Scott getting lost in the shuffle because these new guys are showing up all of a sudden. But then I look at the end of the game, Scotty's got 20 points and he's contributed in major ways. So I just want to make sure that, everybody's getting what they should be getting in certain ways. And I think that they're doing that, and that everybody's kind of efficiently finding their offensive games and melding together and not at the detriment of each other. That's a big part of it all. It's like you want to kind of flow and fit together. Although Darko said after the game, he wasn't happy with our offense at all in the fourth quarter. He felt like the offense wasn't making the right decisions in certain ways, and that he is going to really fine-tune some of the issues in the fourth quarter last night with our offense and why it wasn't as successful or efficient as he would have liked. That's what I'm talking about. We won. We played really well, but this man is ready to look at the lumps and iron them out still and figure it out. The learning lessons are in a win also, not just a loss. And he can improve with these guys because they're the same way. I can tell RJ and Emmanuel from being on the Knicks for a couple years, they're over scrutinized and they think they're looked at for every little thing. Well, it can be in an environment where they're going to over scrutinize things, but it's a little more comfortable and a little less pressured. That could be very interesting because they can understand what they need to do better. And as they learn the team better, we should get better than what we are already. Seriously, think about this. These guys just showed up. They haven't been on our team for a week yet. And just imagine what they're going to be like after a month being on our team. There's going to be chemistry is going to be building and building. And the natural chemistry between Scotty and Emmanuel is there. They didn't do it exactly right. That's part of what Darko was complaining about in the fourth quarter, that Quickly and Barnes weren't exactly lining up exactly. And there may have been a little bit too much going on with Dennis Schroeder at certain times last night. And then, of course, Siakam is holding the ball too much. There was one possession in the fourth quarter where he really did not pay attention to the 0.5, and he just kind of hung out at the top of the key doing a kind of old Siakam kind of stuff from like a year ago or so. So there's definitely stuff that they can work out, the kinks. Definitely stuff they can work out. Yeah, Dana's here. Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited for every game now. And yes, we totally fleeced the Knicks. Yeah, I was like looking at the score totals for our former Raptors on the Knicks. I'm saying 15 points between Precious and OG. And then over here, we got 40 from the two guys, 26 from Emmanuel and 14 from RJ Barrett. And I was saying, man, that's a really nice warm fleece scarf we've got there. A fleece scarf. Yeah, we got a fleece scarf. Scarves. The fleece scarves. Yeah, that's what I'm going to start saying. We wear a fleece scarf. You like that? Fleece scarf? Y'all want to give me a dunk? Give me a dunk then. Give me a dunk for that. A fleece scarf. I'm going to take my first dunk for the year. I'm giving it to myself. That's right. Lex gets a dunk for fleece scarf. I like that. All right, let's keep going. Good to see you, Dana. I heard that OG and Precious got 15 last night and RJ got 40. That's right. Fleece scarf. Trevor's saying, yes, Dana, that is so true. And Bryce is here. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Bryce, I was wondering, you're not far from Memphis. You might have been able to go to that game last night. I was thinking about Bryce. I was like, man, this is in Tennessee. He's in Kentucky. He could just maybe pop across the border and go to Memphis real quick. I don't know what part of Kentucky you're in. Maybe you're not that close. But, man, I was like, man, Bryce Lawson could be at this Raptors game tonight. in Memphis. I don't know. Next time, I don't know how many chances you get to see the Raptors live, and what city, NBA city, is the closest to you. But I would think that Memphis is one of the closest cities to you. I don't know, Bryce. It's always good to see you, man. Cowboys saying playoffs. Here we come. Yeah, listen, it's interesting. This morning, we're a half game behind the three teams above us. We are 12 and a half games back from the Boston Celtics. Meanwhile, Chicago, Atlanta, and Brooklyn are all 12 games back. Now, that means if we win on Friday against Sacramento, we will get even with them. Now, if they lose some of those teams, we will leapfrog them. And if we pass all three of those teams, Brooklyn, Chicago, and Atlanta, we will be in the 8th spot for the playoffs. We will be in the play-in, but in the higher part of the play-in, and in a position to go for a 6th position in the playoffs runs. So yeah, Bradley, this could be true. And we're really close to the three teams that are right above us, Atlanta, Chicago, and Brooklyn. If we win on Friday, they lose, we go ahead of all them. Yeah, let's try and do that. That's what I'm thinking. Bryce is saying they combined for 40 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. Last game, they gave us 33 points, 15 rebounds, and 4 assists. Instant impact, and it's beautiful. Bellissimo. Bellissimo, my paisano. That's right. And my Italian teacher would be so happy with that. Yeah, let me do the second star of the game. It is Pascal Siakam. Siakam is in a master class right now. It's almost like he's like that actor studio right now. He's coming to show y'all stuff. It's like we're all little students and we sit there and it's like watching Martin Scorsese at the inside the actor studio, sitting up there talking to that old guy with the beard and the glasses. You know what I'm talking about. He's like, well, tell me your favorite curse word. It's fucking we're going to win. No, Siakam's awesome. He really is like doing Jordan kind of stuff. He's scoring like a madman. 9 of 14 from the field last night. His shots are really good shots. They're smart shots. He's making a high percentage. He's 1 for 2 at 3, 5 of 6 at the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 1 steal, 3 turnovers, a -1 with 24 points in 30 minutes. No, Siakam, I love your game, bro. I love your game. I love how you're so confident. In some ways, you are the standard bearer for our team because everybody, like Emmanuel said this, it's easy to play with guys like Scotty and Pascal because they're so good. It's fun to play with them. And it's awesome. Siakam, you're flourishing right now. And there's more and more ammunition that you fit so well with this unit and that you need to be invested in going in the future as a Toronto Raptor. And, there's still stupid idiots coming around saying, we need to trade Siakam. We need to trade Siakam. I'm sorry. It's working right now. I mean, what are you dumb? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's something about this team right now and the chemistry and what they're doing with the pieces that ain't broke. So why do you want to do that? Why do you want to trade Siakam all of a sudden? Because this is ridiculous, stupid idea if you want to trade Siakam right now because this fits. This fits good. And the versatility and the scariness of the way that we score is so hard to plan for. People cannot stop us. There's too many different ways we can get at them at this point. I mean, RJ and Quickly come in with totally different ways to come and attack defenses and mess them up. And they're very awesome ways, amazing ways. Oh my gosh, they're so amazing. And you just add that to Scotty and Pascal. It's overpowering. It's OP. It's very overpowering. And they're in trouble. They are in trouble around the league. Trevor J saying Detroit has lost again. It was a good fight. Yeah, that was overtime. Very high scoring, Trevor. Very weird game, honestly. Very, very weird game. But yeah, lots of fun there. Let's see. We got Tom's here. Good to see family friend of the Porter family. Tom is here. Good morning, guys. Tom, what a debut by Jonte coming out and playing for the Raptors for the first time last night. I was right. Once again, Lex predicting the future somehow, some way. I don't know how I do it. I just use logic like Brian Windhorst. Now Windhorst this shit. Jonte's going to play against Memphis, and he did. He got in the first half, and he had solid minutes, honestly. Now, if he had made his 2 threes, that would have gone a long way, I'm sure. But I love what Darko said after the game. He said, I know that he's a good three-point shooter. I've seen what he did in 905, and I'm not worried about him missing the 2 threes. I think that the main important thing for Jonte Porter last night was to show that he could play solid backup center defensive minutes, and he did that. He checked that right off because really there wasn't any kind of weird drop-off with rim protection for our team with Jakob out. We saw how overpoweringly great Jakob was at stopping people and just hustling and doing all the things he does. Well, Jonte was allowing verticality, just like Darko said after the game, in a very, very good way. He said it too after the game that he will get more time with the big squad on this trip. So I think Jonte's on his way to getting his two-way converted, hopefully, and being a full-fledged member of the Toronto Raptors soon. We need him, honestly. And if he's going to fit and he's doing certain things solidly, hey, he's going to make those threes in one of these games coming up. And it's really going to nail it down at that point. Raptors fans will see that, and they'll be like, I love this Jonte Porter guy. We need to switch him over, Darko. And I think Darko's a big fan too. And I really was like, all right, Jonte, just get out there and play solid backup center defensive minutes, and boom, the job is yours. Because that's the role they need from him right now. It's not necessarily we need him to be a shooting lights out three-point shooter. It's not that we need him for certain post moves or anything. Right now, we need him for his defense, his rebounding, his block shots. And he came out and showed that he has that kind of stuff. And I love it. I love it. It's so good. Shane's saying Happy New Year, Lex, and all the Raptors freaks. Great win starting off the new year with them good vibes. 6-0 road trip coming up. We got a new mic. We got a new team. We got a new squad. And it's time to win, Shane Waters. Always good to see my friend Shane Waters out in the West Coast, BC, holding it down in BC country on the West Coast of Canada. We love you, Shane. Always happy to see you, man. Here's what Tom's saying about Jonte. Jonte looked good last night, played excellent D, rebounded well, missed 2 shots long, but he was fired up to be getting minutes, so I can't blame him. It was awesome, man. And what a dream. I know he's played for Memphis already, but this is a little bit different. And in some ways, he's out there in very meaningful minutes and running with very premium teammates out there. And he didn't look out of place. This is sometimes what you want to look at is when somebody new comes in like that, but does he look like he belongs? And well, Jonte looked like he belonged to me. And I think that Darko's going to go and try and discover more about the possibilities of Jonte Porter taking rotation minutes going forward. So I'm happy about it. I know you're happy about it. I know the Porter family is happy about it. You go, Jonte. And I'm so glad you're healthy once again and over your recent sickness. This is so good. This is such a good thing. The timing is working out now that he got to go on this road trip. This will be a big deal. It was really awesome to see the picture of all the Raptors at St. Jude's Hospital, all of them collectively together, except for obviously Grady and Marquise and a couple of players that are with the 905 or in Toronto. But yeah, seeing Jonte in that group, in that picture at St. Jude's Hospital was very heartwarming to me, and I like seeing it. I really did. Firebolt's here. Good to see Firebolt. She has come into our chat on Facebook, and I'm so happy to see Firebolt there. Good morning, Lex and Raptor family. What a game last night. What a joy. What a joy. In some ways, after watching the game, I'm giddy. In some ways, Monique's calling the game in the third quarter when we're up 20. And I'm like, I don't know, Monique. We need to watch out. It's the NBA. People can make up runs. But she's like, I called it. I was right. And you were right, Monique. You were damn for sure we're right. But in some ways, we got to be careful with this and temper our expectations. But after the game, I found myself just laughing. Like, I'm laughing right now. I'm literally laughing. Like, Raptors Nation is laughing right now. If I'm laughing for no reason, half an hour, 2 hours after the game, and I'm just hanging out and I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I start laughing. We're laughing. That's literally what's going on right now. We are laughing with our situation right now. It's amazing. Just like you think about it, and you're like, that's really what the feeling around Raptors Nation is right now, is that we're laughing. We are so happy and positive. And that toxicness, you can't, with the light shining so bright like this, you can't be toxic and be negative in this time and era right now. You cannot. If you're like that, you sound stupid. You sound crazy. Like all us positive fans that say all this stuff all the time. My channel for the last 2 years, I may have sound crazy and stupid. Well, no, all the people that are doing the other way and opposite of me, or being negative and stuff like that, they sound really stupid at this point. And I love it. I love it. That's the way the world should be. It's in its right place right now. Raptors fans, stay positive, stay happy. You're laughing. You are laughing right now. That's what I'm saying. Carl Otz is here. Look at Carl putting the Raptors display out there. Carl, listen. Good morning, freaks, by the way. Listen. You should maybe go take Harry to the College Park game tonight, 7:00. I don't know where it is in Atlanta, but the Raptors 905 are playing in Atlanta 2 games. They're playing today, and then they'll play again on Saturday. So if you guys are free and you want to go see some more Raptors basketball, it's in your area, bro. College Park Skyhawks. It's G League, and there's hardly anybody at those games. It's a lot of fun, and you could see people like Marquise Noel play, Javon Freeman Liberty. So go down there, Carl. Seriously, I encourage you. You're in Atlanta. And the Raptors 905 are currently in your city. They're going to play tonight at 7:00. And then they're going to play again on Saturday against the same team at the same place. So I don't know where College Park is. I think it's close to where you live, right? Maybe you guys should think about going to the game. It's a real cheap ticket, and it'd be good for Harrison to see more basketball at some sort of level, whether it's professional or G League. It's a good place to go down there. And you guys like the Raptors, you're going to see the Raptors and the Hawks G Leagues teams. So, yeah, I'm just telling you, my little brother, that's my brother, Carl. I love him, man. And it was so awesome to see you guys. And they had a great trip here. The kids ended up on the Jumbotron at the Leafs game. They were in the Jumbotron at the Raptors game. And they even got on CP24 when they visited the CN Tower. These kids are all over the TVs these days. It's crazy. G saying, we are back, baby. We are back, baby. What it do, baby? Yeah, Jonte did play well. And Yak was great on top of the obvious spicy barbecue. For the Knicks, OG got 9 shots all game. Randall and Brunson will not give him their touches. Well, I think in some ways that's the way it should be. I mean, it really is their team. Julius Randle has to score a lot and shoot a lot for him to be effective as a player on the court. Jalen Brunson's the captain. He's the leader. He's the guy who's going to kind of direct things. And we know that OG's not forthcoming with trying to demand the ball or aggressive to get the ball. In some ways, that's the biggest thing that's been holding back OG the last few years, is that he's just not that kind of personality that goes and takes more than what he gets. It really is that kind of thing. I get it at this point, and it's fine because honestly, the way he plays is within himself. He lets the game come to him, and it may be on some nights he's only going to get 11 points. But there's nothing wrong with that if he's shutting down the other team's best guy and he's playing like a plus 35 type of game on the down low. So, I mean, I don't expect OG to become like a more of an offensive guy just because he's on the Knicks. I really don't. I think that he's going to be who he was with us, and that is great. Honestly, Knicks fans, OG is just who he was for us already. You guys are going to be fine. Seriously, you see it. You see it already. He has a winning effect on teams. Firebolt is saying, Tom, I thought Jonte looked good out there last night too. He was setting screens constantly and great defense. Yeah, he's playing the team game, and that's important right now. In some ways, I could see him playing team defense more like a Duncan. Tim Duncan is somebody I've talked about recently on this channel as far as I'd like Scott to study Tim Duncan's team defense and the way he plays. If Scotty's going to be playing center or any kind of power forward kind of stuff down in the paint, Tim Duncan's a great person for him to emulate as far as the way Tim Duncan would use help defense to help his teammates. So, Jonte looks like some of the stuff that he does out there is very Tim Duncan kind of spacing and coming to help and coming to do stuff kind of thing with Jonte Porter. I really think he had a good debut. And, well, Darko confirmed it after the game, saying he will get more time. So I'm all about it. Yeah. Jill's here. Good to see Jill. Morning, everybody. Hope you had a great Wednesday. That's right. Wednesday comes through once again. Wednesday is the day for W's, big W's, Scotty Big W's. Let's go, Scotty Big W's, Barnes. That's right. Who's my third star for the game last night? It is Mr. Scotty Wayne Barnes. He's just a glue guy. He's a glue guy. I told you we got different levels of glue guys now between RJ and Scotty. Scotty, 20 points, 7 of 14 from the field. I like the 50% shooting. His shot selection overall was pretty good. There were a couple of threes I would have maybe taken back. I like how he was aggressive and going to the basket a lot, too, in the game at times and doing stuff near the basket. That's really important that he has kinetics and movement going into the lane and coming at the basket and also looking for posts, especially on smaller players. 2 of 5 from 3. He made all 4 of his free throws, 2 rebounds, 8 assists with 1 turnover. 8-to-1 assist to turnover ratio is fantastic, Scotty. Maybe you are a point guard after all. Steals, 1, and +2 with 20 points in 40 minutes. No, Scott, in some ways, you weren't a focal point last night. In some ways, you were not somebody that was very prominent. In some ways, Siakam and Quickly, yeah, they're real easy to see what they're doing out there. But it's kind of like Scotty's all seeping in and just filling in all the gaps on what you need to do as a basketball team to win. And he's doing unsung things. He's doing little things. Him and RJ, they're both doing little smart things that lead up to winning basketball that doesn't necessarily have to do with scoring. And that's the thing that I love. RJ's such a smart player. I saw more and more smarts of him last night. And Scotty's a smart guy too, but he's going to be even smarter having somebody like Barrett around him, and he will rub off on him. Watch. And Barrett is really intelligent. I'm telling you, he's an underrated defender. I think that in some ways, because the Knicks had Robinson's really their only really good defensive player before OG showed up. And in some ways, they depended on RJ to be an OG type defender for them. in New York before this trade. And that was unfair to RJ. That's just not the kind of player that he is. But in some ways, RJ is such a good defender if he doesn't have to be the guy that has to guard the really tough assignments. It's kind of like a proximity guard guy who can really kind of screw things up on the secondary level of guarding. Meanwhile, Scott and Pascal are maybe doing the heavy lifting with really guarding up on people like OG would. I'm telling you, there's some things about RJ that are very underrated that we're not talking about enough. But Barnes was fantastic. He was my third star. And Scotty, man, I just love it, man. You were not focal point, but you were very important and key crucial points, and you're winning. And I can tell this. I'll tell you this right now. Knowing Scott from watching him on Twitch with 2K, he loves this new squad. I'm going to tell you that right now. Whatever emotion and feelings he had this weekend about the departures of his friends going to the Knicks, it's over. Because the thing that Scotty cares about is playing basketball game and having fun. And winning is fun. And if he's going to win and he has these new guys next to him, like he's enjoying having Emmanuel quickly run around with him. He's excited about playing with RJ Barrett because this is stacking up to a lot of good stuff. And that's ultimately the one thing that matters the most to Scotty is winning and having fun playing basketball. And he is right now. So there ain't nothing wrong with what's going on right now with him. In fact, he doesn't have to do certain amount of level of things. Some of the Scotty lovers may be upset. Dennis is shooting too much. Emmanuel's taking away from Scotty. That's not how basketball works. Y'all see it and you're like, oh, Scotty should just take every shot. That's bullshit. No, that's bullshit. We don't want to tire him out like that, first of all. And other guys need to go get theirs too. And in some ways, it's like a good balance right now because Scott's finding his way to get production. It's just, and some nights he may step up and be like, I'm the man tonight. Just like Emmanuel was last night. I'm going to be the man tonight myself. And I'm going to carry us and I'm going to get like 30 to 40 points myself. So those days will be coming. And be patient, Scotty lovers. He will be coming up and rising more and more as time goes on. My fourth star is Dennis. Dennis was a mixed bag last night, but he was very super efficient, y'all. 6 of 11 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 0 turnovers. Dennis has not had a turnover since the new guys have showed up, guys. He had a perfect game on Monday night, and he had no turnovers again last night. A +5 with 16 points off the bench. Dennis, in some ways, it's like, look, I liked him starting, but he is such a good backup point guard. He really, really is. He makes our bench really, really solid. And part of the reason why we haven't had any drop-off and a level of play, but bringing the bench in is because of Dennis. It is because of Dennis. Now, I know he rubs a lot of people the wrong way. And there were times last night where he irritated me as far as maybe trying to do a little too much himself. But in some ways, once again, we need him to be aggressive. And when he makes those shots, that's awesome. He's going to do that little dribble in and take that quick shot. I know y'all were saying, well, why didn't he pass it to this guy if he's open there? Well, if he's got the shot, he needs to take it, and he will make it. And as long as he makes more of them than he misses, I have no problem taking shots. Now, if he has a game where he stinks and he shoots like 3 for 17 at some point or 3 for 15, then maybe you need to take less shots next game, Dennis. But I have no problem with what he did last night. He was extremely efficient and running the team in certain ways as a bench backup point guard. And good job, Dennis. You're my 4th star. And my 5th star is going to be, this may be a surprise to y'all. It's not Jakob. I wanted to give Jakob one of the stars. And in some ways, he was so good with the 5 blocks, the 8 rebounds, 7 points. But I'm going to give this to Chris because in some ways, Chris Boucher did something last night that was absolutely amazing. He did not play in the first half. Jonte got the first half minutes, but Chris got the second half minutes, and he made them count. He came out there and he played the ultimate Chris Boucher role, a rebounder and an energy rebounder. He came out there. He got 8 rebounds in 13 minutes, 2 assists, a +10, 4 points with 2 of 2 from the field. I just want to reward Chris for busting his butt, for being ready to play, even though his time has been erratic. And he has not played a whole lot for Coach Darko so far this year in comparison to years before. But look, he gets his number called last night, and he comes out and he plays his ass off, and he plays the ultimate kind of role, that rebounder energy kind of Dennis Rodman off the bench, Detroit Pistons 1989 kind of role. And the thing about him is, man, I just love having roles on our team now. We've got different guys that have different roles. We got Quickly with this role. We got Scotty with this role. We got Chris with this role. We got Dennis with this role. We got Jakob with this role. The problem of ambiguity with role definition last year is out the window because now we know who's going to be doing what. because we actually have people that do different positions and they know their role, Dwayne Johnson. And I love that. That's amazing. So those are my 5 stars. I could add more. I thought about doing 7 stars last night, but I decided against it. I could have put RJ in there. RJ and Jakob could have been 2 of the stars, but I wanted to show some love to those bench guys, Schroeder and Boucher. So my 5 stars are quickly Siakam, Barnes, Schroeder, and Boucher. But Pirtle and Barrett are definitely both honorable mentions. Honorable mentions for sure. All right, let's keep going in the chat. Fiercey's here. Good to see Fiercey. Saw Sarah. Scotty Barnes Twitch family 2022. That's right. Scotty Barnes Twitch family will always be an organization and something. We will keep it alive in the Raptor Freak family. The people that were in Scotty's Twitch streams day in and day out, communicating and talking to young Scott. Yeah, Fiercey, we have a special bond in that way. Good morning, fam, and happy Thursday. Was not able to fully watch the game, but monitored the box score and watched the highlights. We looked the fuck good. Vibes are great. It's a new era. That's right. Fiercey's on a trip to Colombia and may not be as easy to catch the game. But I hope that you could vicariously look at our chat and see what we were talking about in the Facebook chat. And yeah, you could keep up with the box score or something. No, it was awesome, Fiercey. And honestly, when you come back, or if you get a chance next time, I would watch that game, even though it's already happened. It's a very joyful game to watch. And it's something that you would very much like watching, even though it may be time has passed and stuff like that. It's just a fun game to watch. Fiercey's got the team on blast. And thank you, Masai and Bobby. That's right. That's right. Every space right now, Raptor Freaks, this is something we can do right now. If you're in social media spaces that are about the Raptors, go in there and tell everybody to start apologizing to our front office right now. Again, we can do this right now because they're basking in their genius and excellence. A lot of people are saying, why did I ever doubt them? Why do we make our tenet, our most important motto on this channel is trust in Masai? This has been something we used to say like a chant, like monks around an orb or something like that in a secret society. Trust in Masai. You know, there's a reason for this, because you should. If you forgot to not trust in Masai, well, you got reminded this weekend. You got reminded this weekend. And if you said anything about that man in a derogatory way in the last couple of years, you said that he's been asleep at the wheel. You said that he's not been doing his job since coasting off the championship. If you said any kind of that malarkey, I wanted your apology written and signed and mailed to me right away. Or just put it on social media. That's right. Go into those spaces, other Raptor Freaks, and remind everybody, yeah, y'all were talking this crap and this crap about our front office. Well, y'all owe them an apology. That's right. Go in there and do it. We can do that. We can throw our weight around right now as the positive Raptors fans that stood up for Bobby Webster and Masai Ujiri this whole time and tell these toxic ass motherfuckers, y'all were wrong and y'all need to apologize about not trusting in Masai and Bobby. Yeah. Yeah. Trust them. Trust them. Yeah. Test your mic. Test your mic. Test. 1, 2. Test. Yeah, I have it turned down a little bit. I can turn it up a little bit. I just didn't want to be like, I get loud at some points. Y'all can hear me fine. I'm trying to, I know about talking to the mic from working at the radio station. I'm trying to do this better. I'm trying to think about external noises. I'm listening to it on my headphones. I'm really trying to upgrade the channel. And just like the team got upgraded, we're getting upgraded on the Raptor Free channel too. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Kevin Thompson saying, great game from Quickly yesterday. Sign him to an extension early before he gets max contract. Well, in some ways, once again, Kevin, you put it there right there, what it is. These guys know that they can get more later, and that's why they don't take the max offers or the extension offers. We know that last year, Bobby and Masai, they didn't tell us because they're not going to broadcast this. They made offers to Fred, offers to OG, offers to Pascal, and these guys are all saying, well, we want to wait because we want to get the most money that we can get, and that's just smart business. So in some ways, I think that this is kind of the way it's supposed to happen naturally, is kind of let Quickly do what he's supposed to do for the rest of the year. He may not be, he's not dumb. He's not going to try and sign right now. He wants to increase his value as a starting point guard for the Raptors at this point. And I get it. You want to save money and stuff like that, but that's not the way the Raptors operate. We don't care about paying guys money. We want them to just get better and better and better. Some teams in this league may like stymie players getting better because they want to pinch pennies. But that seems like a loser kind of strategy in some ways to me. Like Philadelphia would do that or something like that. Yeah, we don't want you to be so good. So because we have to pay you. So we're not going to play you that much. And we're going to not let you develop in certain ways. No, that seems loserish. No, we need to let him go to the levels and pay him what he is owed and what he needs to be paid. I don't care. That kid is good. In some ways, we need to invest in him for the future because we want to have our own style of player like Tyrese Maxey. Well, that's Emmanuel Quickly. And it's not like these guys grow on trees and they're all over the league. They're very much maybe just a set of these two Kentucky guards. So we'd like to have one of them on the Raptors, and I'm all about paying him. I don't care. The Knicks fans are coming want this amount, this amount. I don't give a shit. Pay him. Pay him. If y'all can pay him, pay him. Because honestly, the Raptors may really want to seriously consider going in the luxury tax because this team is good. And this may be the time to invest in it for winning MLSE. So I'm not afraid of this, Kevin. If that man earns that money by the end of this year and he gets that contract, is what I'm saying right there. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Dana's got the two new guys on blast, Quickly and Barrett. Yeah, yeah. Randolph saying, good morning, beloved Raptors freaks. Most informative gang. Blessings, 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 blessings raining down on Raptors Nation right now. What a great game last night. Whoa. The new additions, Skipperly and Quickly and RJ the Brave. Skipperdy. I like that. Skipperdy. Can we play tonight? He's ready to go right now. Some of those guys might be too. I don't know. They need the proper rest. They're professionals. In some ways, I want these guys to really get in the pattern of how the game days and stuff like that. Like these guys are professional. I can tell Quickly has a whole kind of routine and a mentality about how he conducts himself as a professional basketball player, and that game day matters. And in some ways, I don't want to see an aggregate of exhaustion and fatigue from them playing such an up and down style on the court. In some ways, we're a little bit worried, like Iceman, like Gervin, with the minutes police right now, because some of our guys are starting to get a little bit high minutes totals in recent games. I mean, Barnes played 40 minutes last night, but he's a youngster. He can handle that. Siakam only 30, but he did have foul trouble. But in some ways, we want to have a whole rest of the season with that great energy and upbeat and going up and down the court. We don't want to tire guys out. So we're going to have to balance bringing in bench guys and getting good rest and doing things right so that we can have that optimal energy output like we've had for the last two games consistently over every game coming up. So it's about preparation, taking care of your body on off days, and coming back with refreshed, renewed passion and energy going back into the game when we go to Sacramento on Friday. So this is going to be really important for Darko to balance and try and figure out for the long haul for the whole rest of the season. Because in some ways we're deeper, but also at the same time with that kind of luxury, you don't want to overburden and overburn out and tire out your guys too. I worry about this a little bit because the style of play that we played these two games so far this year is a very expending kind of style of play. As long as he's integrating the bench and bringing them in and out, this is why Dennis is good, because he can take a lot of this energy and expend it himself. And in some ways, then Quickly won't have to expend it the whole time of the game, too. So there's all kinds of things that in some ways we want to keep up this level of energy. Well, our guys are going to have to rest. They're going to have to be professional. They're going to stay good on off days, know what they got to do to stay prepared and come in with that same kind of stuff every single night they play. That's what I want to know about right here, right there. Yeah, blessings to you, Randolph, and the Phillips family. Love you guys. Country Kong is in the house. Good morning, Raptors freaks. Lex, oh my Lord. What a game. Such a professional effort from the Raptors holding off the Grizzlies. IQ is an absolute truth. Start the barbecue. Barnes, Barrett, and Quickly. That's right, JP. Crank that barbecue up in the backyard. Get that briquette and get that lighter fluid and start that barbecue. That's what I'm saying too, my man. Yeah, yeah. All right, let me talk about the Grizzlies a little bit since you brought them up. They're an interesting team. John Morant is scary as hell. He is scary as hell, isn't he? He's so scary. That dude is amazing. He has crazy ups, and he just gets after it. And the way he shot the threes in the beginning of the game, I was like, oh my gosh, is this going to be this kind of night? This dude is just a supreme talent in this league. But we know we've kind of contained them. I really am proud of Quickly and Schroeder and Trent for kind of chasing him around in a pretty good thing. I really like that trio of guards that we've got now. And I like the fact that he can play them all three at the same time. It really gives us a really good look of a small three-guard look if we need to go to it. And they play well with each other. In some ways, it's funny that the Knicks would never play Quickly with Brunson. And it seems kind of silly to me. But we're definitely playing Schroeder with Quickly and even Trent with them. That was the one lineup that kind of worried me last night. was when they had the three guards with Barnes and Boucher. That was the most reminiscent of like a Malachi and Precious bench lineup from earlier this year, where I was kind of unsure of how they would do. And yeah, there was a little bit of worry there. But I like the fact that they're playing them all together. Now, the other team is very dirty. Marcus Smart hit him with a forearm shiver right in the big end of the game. It's just like a hockey game where like somebody takes a cheap shot right before the end of the game, even though the game has already been determined. It was bullshit. Marcus Smart, you're such a full of shit, kind of person, man. In some ways, that's a cheap shot. I love this. RJ was all about get in his face. We definitely got dog on this team. Did you see the way that RJ and Marcus Smart were barking and talking the whole game and how physical they were with each other? That RJ didn't back down to Marcus, and he was kind of really negating him in some ways because he was kind of like, yeah, we're not going to mess with your stuff. I remember you from Boston. Yeah, I was in New York. We battled many times. Yeah, I'm going to be like a counterpoint to you, bro, because I'm going to kind of like kind of even us out. You're not going to be this issue X factor, Marcus Smart, because I'm meeting you with physicality. That was some of the stuff that on the download RJ was doing. He was doing leadership through like a grit and determination and kind of like, yeah, no, you're not going to punk us. In some ways, we need to talk about how RJ, being from Mississauga and being a Toronto guy, is a really powerful thing because there's a pride of like standing up for the Raptors that comes from him being a little kid and being a Raptors fan and being just a nationalistic pride. I mean, this dude has it for real, bona fide, with a bronze medal in this summer's FIBA World Cup. That, the nationalistic pride, there's something different about RJ and what he's going to do to stand up for the Raptors than the average NBA player. Let's just put it that way. Does this make sense? It may be just like, a New York point guard that grew up in New York. If they play for the Knicks, they're going to play a certain way for the Knicks because that's their hometown. That's their city. And this is what I'm talking about. This is some of the unlocked potentials of RJ that they couldn't get in New York that they can get in Toronto. And it's because he's playing for his home country. He's playing for his home team. And in some ways, he's going to get on that front line and he's going to talk trash to Marcus Smart and negate his physicality in there. We didn't have any this kind of stuff going on with the Raptors. This is exactly what Patrick Beverley was talking about. You ain't got no dogs on that team. Well, you see RJ interacting with Marcus Smart last night, and you see we got a dog who's willing to physically step up and come and get a big dog like Marcus Smart and the way he acts. It's awesome. It was a beautiful thing to see. I'm so happy about it. Pally Poppy's here. Good to see my nameless paisano here. Hey, how do you all like that OG trade now, New York? You ain't seen nothing yet. Listen, if any New York fans are here, we love you. We welcome you. It's it's been a fantastic trade. I hope it works out for both of us. I think it is already. Both teams 2-0 to start since the trade, and it's fantastic. Y'all have got a much better defensive look to y'all's team with our OG on that team. And wow, we are really gotten out of the mud. In some ways, I love the offensive production for the Raptors at this point. We're not struggling offensively anymore. Now that we got this trade, it's amazing. You see the deep three by Quickly and the way he scores, and I'm like, wow, we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. And even the RJ stuff wasn't like overpowering last night. RJ could have done way, way more last night, but he didn't. He played within his game. He did winning stuff just to help us in certain ways. So the 2 threes by RJ was awesome. 5 of 12 from the field, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 3 turnovers, 14 points. But Knicks fan, you can look at the turnovers. You can look at the -2. I don't care. That man added up to winning. There were X factors that he was doing out there with smarts. In some of the ways, it was he would corral these defensive rebounds on the baseline, very, very carefully protecting the ball and catching the possession to end the offensive set for the Memphis Grizzlies is really important. He could have hit the ball out of bounds, but no, he was very careful and he grabbed the ball and he saved it and he held on to possession so that the Raptors would have the ball and that Memphis would end their chance. There's really smart stuff he's doing with the informed eye, the basketball eye. You can see some of the stuff that RJ's doing out there that's intangible, that will not show up on the stat sheet, on the box score. And it's awesome. I love seeing it. It's so good. It is so good. So good. Cool Cat's here. Good morning, Rapid Free Crew. Spicy barbecue with yak sauce. With yak sauce? I want to make him the main or a main dish. I mean, look at what Jakob does. He's so big. He's so strong. He's just a force at this point, whether it's Austrian hammer stuff, like hammering it down, whether it's the blocks. Oh, my God, the blocks. In some ways, it's like, look, I told y'all yesterday in the preview that we are bigger than the Memphis Grizzlies. Without Steven Adams, they have hardly any size, and they really are a smaller team overall. And well, we saw that length dominating the Grizzlies around the basket with the rim protection of Jakob Poeltl. It seemed like there were a lot of plays last night where the Grizzlies had beaten somebody, but all of a sudden Jakob would block it at the last second. It's like, wow, block up. I was like, block up. This is so good. So good. Jakob Poeltl is so good. So in some ways, I want to make him the main dish. Like we put that yak in the middle of the dish and we cook it up real nice with the spicy barbecue around it. Because in some ways, he is the center. He is the big meaty man in the middle that is doing a lot of the physicality for the Raptors in certain ways. So let's make him the main dish. It's not even yak sauce. It's spicy barbecue yak. It's like we'll put it all over the yak. Anyway, that sounds gross. Anyway, Kevin Thompson saying Pascal has been pretty efficient past 2 games. Other scoring options in the starting lineup means less pressure on him. Yeah, he's breathing a sigh of relief. He's smiling way more. In some ways, there's not people getting in his way to do some of the things he wants to do. You know, they're looking for him. They really kind of like are interested in getting him going. You know, quickly said that he's like really interested in getting the existing Raptors that were here before and learning them and helping them and creating stuff for them. You know, that's a great thing. Emmanuel's so quick. He can get in the lane and draw so much attention. He's throwing it out to Siakam and he's shooting a 3. He's wide open. And that's going to be a huge thing for us is the drive and kick by all 4 of those guys, whether it's Siakam, whether it's Barnes, whether it's RJ, whether it's Quickly. Those guys can all do it. They can all get in the lane. They can all draw attention. And boom, other people are outside. They're going to get open shots. And our team is going to score a lot easier at this point. It's amazing. I love it so much. Seymour saying, I thought the mic was muted again, but my volume was down. Good win, Raptor freaks. We got a chance at greatness. Yeah. I've learned some things about this mic in the last day or so. So I'm going to get it right. In fact, I like kind of where it is right now. I don't know. I'm going to try and figure this out. I don't need to touch it. And I'm going to try and, like, in some ways, I'm going for perfection with the audio. I don't want any clunks or clinks. I want to really try and get it back to the way I used to do it in the radio station, where you could really control the sounds and really just have my voice on there. So we'll see. The studio and the things about this channel are going to change this year. And they're going to get better and better. Watch. Let's see. G saying, can we talk about the defense? Ja was still good, but he wasn't able to really explode. Yeah, they contained him to a degree. He was something. I mean, he's a talent, man. He's such a talent. He had 10 of 18 shooting, 28 points, 3 of 6 from 3, 5 of 6 from the free throw, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 steal, only 2 turnovers. Yeah, he's fantastic. Bane was pretty good too. 9 of 18, 22 points, 8 assists for him, and 0 turnovers. That's really great play by both those guys. And Jaren Jackson Jr. was annoying with his threes. At a certain point, he just went crazy with threes, 4 of 8 from 3. And it's an aspect of his game that I keep forgetting that he can do, is that he can shoot threes. They make such a big deal out of him being a defensive player. But I'm like, okay, look at these threes he's bombing, 24 points for him. But really, other than those 3 guys, and Zaire Williams also, that was somebody that Darko pointed out after the game. He's not happy with how Zaire got lost and just went off on us. In fact, that kid really impressed me. I wasn't sure who he was. I was like, wait, who is this kid? And of course, Darko had a hand in developing him. So he knows Zaire pretty well. He's one of the people that gives credit to Darko making him better. But yeah, that kid really impressed me last night. He was annoying. Zaire Williams, he kind of went off in a little bit in the late in the game and really was a problem for us and got them closer to us. He was really the driver that got the Grizzlies within striking distance after us leading by so much. 18 points in 18 minutes. You can't go wrong with that. 7 of 12, 4 of 7 from 3, 6 rebounds. So yeah, there's a couple of Grizzlies on the other side that were quite impressive. But you know what? It's about enough players doing enough winning things overall. More of them on your side, you will win. And that's the thing. We had 5 guys that played great, and when we had more guys that even added more to winning in different ways. And that's what matters right there. That's what matters right there. Mugarbe's here. Good to see Mugarbe Lennon holding it down in the middle of the country in Alberta for us. Mugarbe Lennon is a great Raptor freak. Good morning, Raptor freaks. Now let them double and triple team Pascal. Well, they can't. That's the thing. At this point, they can't. Every team's going to have to play us straight up, and then they're going to eat them all for lunch. You double Pascal, you're over. You double Scotty, you're over. You double RJ, you're over. You double Emmanuel, you're over. These guys can all pass and they can all shoot, and you're in trouble now, NBA. You're in trouble. The New York Knicks just unlocked the Raptors offensively, and we are about to mess this league up. Every single game we go into going forward, I have a feeling that we could win. A week ago, I had a feeling that we could not win any game. That we're going to go into games like Detroit on Saturday last weekend. I don't feel good. I don't know we're going to beat Detroit this weekend. Well, we didn't. We did not beat Detroit on Saturday. But now I feel like when we line up against, I don't care whatever Western Conference team we're playing. I don't care when we come back, we're going to play Boston in Toronto here. I don't care. We have a chance against any freaking team in this league at this point. We didn't a week ago. We had the chance to lose to every single team in this league then. And at this point, it's in some ways, it's the weirdest turnaround in ever in like feelings and vibes ever in the history of the Raptors. In some ways, this, I was saying yesterday, this trade may be more impactful than any trade in the history of the Raptors. You can look at Kawhi and say, well, that's a pretty impactful trade, Lex. Gasol, that's a pretty impactful trade. Rudy Gay, that's a pretty impactful trade. But I don't know. This one, in some ways, we have to still discover what this is going to mean for a franchise in the years to come. If we're going to have RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley around us, he's serious. RJ wants to bring another championship back here. He saw 2019. He wants to do one himself. Why wouldn't he want to win a championship in his hometown for his country in this place? That's what I'm saying. This could be one of the greatest trades in the history of the Raptors, the most impactful trade. I mean, it's going to look like it from the wins to the losses to the wins, and what's happened in just the last week already. I mean, it feels like it to me. Holy crap, it feels like it. Stargate's here. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Good win last night. Pascal, Scotty, and IQ were good. RJ and Yak were good compliments. Dennis was a lot better on defense. Kudos to him. Yes, it wasn't perfect, but they were better than before. Yeah, to your point, and I did kind of look at Dennis extra carefully because of your points about him on defense the last couple of days, Stargate. So I want to look at it. But once again, I'm going to say this. The NBA is really good. There's so many good players in this league that at any given moment, these guys are going to beat people one-on-one and make them look like trash. And in some ways, Dennis is playing the point of attack and some of the toughest, fastest, most talented guys like Ja Morant in this league. They're going to make people look bad. Just like Jakob gets burned sometimes. Sometimes they're going to get beat. And that's just how it is. I mean, Scotty will get beat sometimes. Pascal will get beat sometimes. They all get beat from time to time. And in some ways, it may just look really bad sometimes with Dennis or Jakob because they get beat so bad is what I'm saying. But this league is talented. And Ja Morant's going to get his. He's going to make people look bad. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. Jill saying, oh, yeah, we beat in Atlantic. Did we beat in Atlantic? No, we haven't beaten an Atlantic Division opponent yet. Trevor Rocks. Good morning, Raptor Freak family from Carlo JS. Yes. Let's see. Wayne saying a bit of history, freaks. Our association with Knicks is not new. Charles Oakley, Mark Jackson, Chris Childs, and Camby went to the Knicks after his stint here. Yes, we were pathetic with Flynn and Precious. No, this is a great point by Wayne. There is a bit of shared cultural icons between the Raptors and the Knicks already. Charles Oakley's a very prominent good one, a good example. In some ways, James Dolan doing what he did to Oakley kind of made him turn more into a Raptors Nation person. We know that Oakley comes to Toronto and he's a part of our active alumni, and that he very much in his podcast and other places touts a very strong affinity for Toronto and being a part of our history as a Toronto Raptor. So it's interesting because Oakley will always be a Knick first, obviously, because he's a very important part of their culture with the years with Ewing. But in some ways, he got disowned by James Dolan, and he turned his back a little bit on the Knicks because of all the stupidity of their owner. And in some ways, we got the benefit of it. I mean, I've seen Oakley is one of the best Raptors alumni out there right now. He always speaks highly of us. He doesn't buy the whole stupid, like Canada this, Canada that. He is very much a good proponent for us. I love him for it. Chris Childs is a great underrated Raptor and somebody who gets forgotten in the history of things. You know, there's so many other point guards around that New York and Toronto times, like Mark Jackson, like Rod Strickland, right? Like Charlie Ward, that in some ways you kind of forget about Chris Childs and some of the things he did in his career as far as when he was in New York and in Toronto. He hit some major, huge shots for us and was very important in our early playoff tests when we first got the playoffs for the first couple times. And it was against New York. The first time we played in the playoffs, we played against the Knicks and we got swept in a 3-game sweep. It was a 5-game series, best out of 5. And then we actually beat them the second time we played them. So that was awesome. But yeah, there is a lot of history between the two teams. Mark Jackson, another shared Nick, Marcus Camby. Yeah, we drafted Camby and traded him for Oakley. And that's how Camby ended up on New York. Seymour saying Kentucky used Maxey off the ball at the 2 spot. Quickly was the point. I think he will be unlocked into an even better player than Maxey. I was thinking about this in my head, but I didn't want to say it until somebody else said it. I was like, what if? I mean, this is tough because Maxey is playing at some sort of crazy level under Nick this year with the Sixers that it is kind of hard to fathom that, like, how could Maxey be better than, how could Quickly be better than Maxey in some ways? I don't know. I mean, the potential for anything is possible. If he becomes as good or better than Maxey, I'll be like, holy crap. So that's why I'm telling people, don't worry about paying Maxey. Pay him. He's just like Siakam. He's a sure bet. As long as he stays healthy and he's fine, he's going to work his ass off no matter how much you pay him. It's just like that's the way he is. In some ways, you worry about the personality of guys. Like, if we pay this guy, is he going to go lazy? Is he going to be just like, I got the bag, I can rest now? No, you don't want those kind of guys. You want guys like Siakam that can get paid a whole bunch of money and they work just as hard and they just bust their ass just as hard. And I can tell Quickly's already like that. So I have the green light to spend however much you want. Keep Emmanuel Quickly in the Raptors red. And I think he loves playing for us so far. I think that what he said in the interview after the game was very glowing about the organization and how they treated him so far. And just how easy it's been to come in and play like this. It's like he hasn't been on this team that long, and it's coming really quickly and easily for Quickly. And this is awesome. This is so awesome. Let's see. Stargate saying, I actually saw Jakob smile last night. Really good to see. He smiles all the time. But no, it's awesome. Let's read Jakob's report from the game last night real quick. 116-111 win at the Memphis Grizzlies. We played 3 great quarters, working together very well on both ends of the floor. In the last quarter, our offense wasn't as fluid as they punished us with their shooting, but we resisted their run and took home a deserved win. In some ways, I like this. I like the playing from up on top and kind of holding them down. In some ways, it's much more fun for us to watch as fans. But it's also good for these guys to test these kind of situations. A really good offensive player like Ja Morant is coming for you. He's trying to hunt you down. He's trying to get above you and win this game in the last quarter. And you're not playing as well all of a sudden. Well, what is your mettle? What is your tenacity? What is your ability to hold them off and still get that W with so much going on out there? That's the stuff I'm wanting to watch now and see. It's like, look, this is your test, Raptors. The Grizzlies are pissed. They want to try and beat you still by the end of the game. Can you hold them off? Can you do winning basketball? Can you take care of things? Now, one of the big criticisms Darko had about the fourth quarter was the guys were not executing the system and the plays the way he sees it. This is really interesting because Darko has changed his press conferences just since this trade has happened. He's being a lot more specific and he's being more nitpicky. I think in the beginning of the season, the guys were so bad, he couldn't nitpick them. He couldn't even say, he's like, well, if they're not going to play this well, I can't really talk about how I'm going to fine tune the team and make them better from what they did because they're just playing so bad. But now they're playing at a good level that he can really fine tune and get nitpicky and say, well, this is what I want you to do. In some ways, we're going to see the Raptors team execute plays better, whether it's inbound plays, whether it's end of the quarter plays, whether it's stuff like at the end of the game. Like, we're going to see them do more set plays. And Darko even let out the bag last night that it's sometimes if I don't get a play call in early when they have the ball in the possession, they will go off on their own and just fill in the gaps themselves. And I want to lessen that. I really want them to start doing my play calls. So this is good. In some ways, in the last couple of years, I wonder if Nick even called plays. He just had systems, and he said, you guys go do your thing. But Darko is saying that he wants to fine-tune things. He really wants these guys to get to a level of execution that is really sound like a really top-level NBA team does. And I'm all about it. I've been wanting this with our team for so long, and Nick just wouldn't allow it. Nick's style and the way he did it as coach was so free flow and like jazz, like, and it's like, no, we want to have a composition. I want to see the sheet music, and I want to see these guys hit the beats on the time that is on the sheet music signature. And that's in some ways, that's the best way to be a great team, is when you execute and you are on the same page and you do it all to the vision of the coach. And we just didn't have the kind of players that could even follow like regular certain things. And now we do. And now we can really fine tune it. I'm all about seeing this part coming up right now. Yeah. Let's see. Seymour saying that smile reminded me of Jaws from James Bond. When Jakob smiled, you thought he looked like Jaws. Richard Keel of the James Bond. Yeah, that's an old school throwback. I actually have the Richard Keel Funko Pop down here for Jaws. That's actually pretty funny you said that. That's Seymour saying that. You're gonna get a dunk for bringing up Richard Keel this morning. Good stuff. Good stuff. Dun-dun, dun-dun. Well, Scott Wall's favorite movies are James Bond movies. So maybe Yacht looked like Jaws to him yesterday. He's like, I like Moonraker. It's one of my favorite movies. When you get thrown out into space, it's hilarious. I am not Richard Keel. Alley-oop to Seymour. I agreed. All right. Yeah. All right. I see you. You're trying to get in on that too. We'll give him two. One from me and one from Cowboy. All right. Let's see. Fun Guy's saying, I like Jonte for sure. He's a fresh playing style. Big man, but is mobile and can move and get set screens good and explode off those screens toward the rims. Give him minutes. Yeah, he does a lot of good stuff. He's an all-round player. He's a stat stuffer. He can shoot threes. He can block shots. He can rebound. He's a good team defender. There's not a lot to not like about him. And also, he's a very smart player. And, man, I'm all about him becoming a full-fledged Raptor and being our backup center for the time being. He may be for a while. I don't know what's going on with Koloko. It's crazy. The man's on the road with them, though. He's traveling with them, so he must be feeling all right. He's out there on the road with them. If they would have kept him home, if he's like having such a horrible situation with his long COVID, I don't know. I don't understand what's going on with Koloko at all. So Jonte, it's your opportunity. With Koloko's going to be on the shelf. It's your opportunity, man. Seymour saying salute the Cowboy. Yeah. Did you guys actually end up linking up? I know that may not have happened, but I wish and I hope that y'all did actually get the link up when Cowboy went out west. I don't know if you did, though. You didn't tell me. Mo's saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. Let's keep climbing. Can we say enough about IQ? Give Masai his flowers right now. There you go, superfan Monique Lawrence, the greatest icon, leader in the Raptor fan nation. Yes, I love it. And, yeah, give Masai his flowers and give him his due, y'all. Come on now. G saying the trade Pascal for Scotty to shine fans don't understand. These young guys will get their own. His shots may get diluted. Pascal averages only 16 shot attempts a game. Pascal is efficient. Well, so I'm sure I don't know what he who shall not be named in idiocy over there on his channel is talking about last night after the game. I think Paul B went in there and he was trying to reason with them, is what he was saying. I was like, listen, what's the point? In some ways, if anybody has success on the Raptors other than Scotty Barnes, they're going to be upset. And it's stupid because it's exactly the opposite of how Scotty is. Once again, Pensair is not a person that understands what's good for Scott. He's an idiot. He's absolutely an idiot. Scott wants all of his teammates to be successful and play well. He loves playing with Siakam. Siakam is not taking anything away from Scotty. He's adding to Scotty. So everybody who listens to Pensair and maybe listen to me also, stop listening to Pensair. He's an idiot. He's absolutely an idiot. He's destructive for our team. And if he's miserable after the last two games, it tells you all you need to know about who he is. If he's like a curmudgeon and he's acting all negative after the way we played the last couple games, he's an idiot. He should be reveling in the success and the amazingness of this new team. It just tells you enough that you need to know. He's not a Raptors fan. He's not interested in good things for the Toronto Raptors. He's interested in causing confusion and bullshit and problems for people like Fred VanVleet and Pascal Siakam. And that's it. Dennis Schroeder, you can name whoever. As long as it's not Scotty, he's going to come after them. He'll come after RJ Barrett in the next month or so. Watch. I'll predict it right now. That idiot over there, Robert Misovich, who does Pensair basketball, will start complaining about RJ Barrett and Emmanuel quickly at some point. Yeah, because he's an idiot. He does not understand Scotty's a team player, and he wants good players around him to be as good as possible. So the logic of sending Siakam away is stupid because he wants Siakam on the team. He wants the best possible players on the team, and he thinks that Siakam's the best player in the league. So, Robert, whatever your agenda is, you're not in line with what your icon and the person that you love so much wants. You really aren't. You do not understand what Scotty wants. You do not. You are talking about the worst things for what he wants. And he's such an idiot. Oh, my gosh. I'm just going to say that. This is a really good time to show you who the real ones are. If people are happy about this and they're excited about it like we are, then we're real fans. If people are Eoring this shit and saying, "Oh, well, that win's great, but we're gonna have to do something about Siakam soon," or "Well, we're gonna have to trade Siakam anyway," these people are not real fans because they can't just enjoy the moment and the positivity and that the awesome things that are going on. They're still looking for the dark spot. They're still looking for the problem. They're still looking for somebody to point fingers to when there's no reason to point fingers at anybody right now. So yeah, that's what I'll just say about my counterpart, the idiot, the dark side, fucking Penn State basketball piece of shit. Yeah, if I ever get a chance to straight up debate that man to his face on YouTube, I will kill him. I'll eviscerate him, or verbally. I will take him down with. I will go and then boom, he's done. And everybody like the Raptors freak just killed Penn State basketball. Just made him look like a fool. Made him look like somebody who doesn't fucking know what he's talking about. Yeah, I will do that to him. I will gladly do that to him. Maybe we'll have WrestleMania around April this year. Yeah, let's get this together, Country Kong. You want to bridge the gap between me and that piece of shit? I'll come in that ring and octagon and I'll take him down TKO in under 30 seconds. Oh, yeah, I will. Because he has no logic. He has no reasoning to what he's doing over there other than pure hate. And just he calls it an unadulterated love for Scotty. Well, he hates the Raptors. He loves Scotty Barnes, but he obviously hates the Raptors. And that's what I'll say to anybody who watches his channel and mine. Right there. Right there. All right, let's keep going. Let's see. Bryce is saying, yeah, I actually could have went. It's only 3 hours away from me. I wish you did, Bryce. I mean, jump on these opportunities if you can. I know maybe it caught you off guard and it was a little too soon. Now, what about DC or what about Atlanta? I know Atlanta's a little bit more of a hop, skip, and a jump. Maybe you can get to a Raptors game somewhere somehow. I mean, there's also what I know. I guess Cleveland's a little further, but yeah, I don't know, man. If I were you, because you're in such a central area of the United States, figure out the closest NBA cities and look at that calendar for when the Raptors are coming through town and go catch them. I would do that, Bryce, especially since we got your Kentucky guy, IQ, running the point now. It'll be fun. Wayne's saying Pascal and Scotty will get theirs. RJ and IQ just need to keep their average. And with Dennis, Jakob contributes to winning. Purposely left out Trent Jr. because his points are gravy. Yeah, I look at that too. In some ways, I've looked at Gary like this because he's just so inconsistent. It's just like whatever he can add is just gravy on top. In some ways, we can get the building blocks, the different people get the right things done, and fundamentally will win. But if Gary can just kick it into and contribute on a certain night, like if Gary gets hot and he starts making shots, I'm not upset. But in some ways, I don't depend on him for that. And it's just too bad. Now, I think Wayne's got a pretty good description of all this. Pascal and Scotty are going to get theirs. They're just going to. And RJ and Emmanuel will just be the different levels varying on different nights. But they're astute enough to understand what they need to add and help to go over it. Same with Dennis. It's the same thing with Dennis. When he's making those shots and taking those shots, it's because he wants to contribute. He wants to help to the overall score for the whole game. And we need a lot of different people scoring. Now, if Scotty lovers would have it their way, Scotty would get 70 points, and that's it. You know, that's what they really want. It's stupid. You don't want to burn out old number 4 so quickly just because you're overusing him. We need everybody to carry the weight together. And that's why Dennis scoring and looking to take his shots is important. It's important, y'all. And we need him to be confident. Y'all can't kill his confidence with your stupid shit and social media. Come on now. All right. We need him to be at a top level because we'll be better with him playing better too. Let's see. Monique saying happy for Jonte. Great defensive stops. He's great. Yeah, he was fantastic. I really, really want him to continue to play for sure. Let's see if he plays against Sacramento. MSJ saying this trade is so amazing. With Porter, we basically got a 4-for-2 deal and a pick. The play-in is right there. 6th spot is possible. I would like to take down New York City in the play-in, though. Laugh out loud. Yeah, somebody was saying online, I think it was Catherine Naker, was saying that, well, what if New York plays Toronto in the playoffs now? It'd be fun. It'll be a fun matchup. I know the 20th is circled on a lot of people's calendars between Knicks and Raptors Nation now, that we'll go to MSG and we'll see OG and they'll see RJ and we'll get a good test. And that'll be a really fun battle. The Knicks versus the Raptors on January the 20th. It's going to be very, very fun. I'm excited about it. Chris is also saying we really do need to keep Pascal. I'm not a contracts mind, but please, Spicy Barbecue is the nickname from heaven. T-shirts, promos, TV commercials. Make it happen, Raptors organization. You really like that spicy barbecue, huh? All right. I'm all about keeping these guys. I want to invest in our team to win. That's what the best teams in sports do. They invest in good players and pay them and keep enough of them around that it adds up to winning. And I feel like there's some guys on this team that need to be long-term Raptors. In fact, I would love to keep this core for as long as possible. No screwing around. Let's keep these guys long-term. Some of them are already locked in long-term. Well, let's make sure we can get as many of them locked in. Bobby and Masai, your job's not done yet, but I like the direction you're going. I really do. Stargate saying if Jonte starts making those threes, it's going to be a problem. Yeah, he will. He will. I'm fully confident in him. In some ways, he may have had a little bit of nerves, like Tom said, as far as like he's excited to be there. And maybe the shot didn't go exactly right. But if he settles down, those shots are going to go in. He's a very good three-point shooter. The amount of threes that I saw him making with the 905 was fantastic. So I have way more confidence in him shooting threes than Precious. That's for sure. Yeah. Mugarbe is saying, Lex, put Pascal in any situation. You'll make your team great. This is true. This is true. That's why this is the biggest fallacy in the Pensair trope of like, we need to get players around Scotty that play well with them. This is bullshit. In fact, Scotty probably slap you across the face, Robert, if he heard you say that. Because listen, Scotty's the kind of player that can play with anybody anywhere. He prides himself with that. And your whole idea that, oh, this person shouldn't be playing next to him or something like that, he would be mad at you because he takes the challenge of learning every single person who plays around him. Now, some people, if they're not that good, well, he may get disenchanted, not want them to be around. And that's why it's so ridiculous that your target is Siakam right now because he's really good. And he loves playing with Siakam. So it's a ridiculous thing that's going on over there on his channel. If you watch him, you just be like, what are you doing, bro? Why are you so miserable? Seriously, why are you so miserable? MSJ saying Jonte's shot looks pure. They will fall for him. I just like that he is as solid on D as Lex is saying. He did not look out of place, and he should be surefire re-up into Raptors full contract. Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like it. Let's just stay present. Let's just enjoy the games, enjoy the now. And when these times come and when we have to figure things out, we'll just have to trust in Bobby and Masai. That's what I'm going to say over and over again. Trust in Masai. We'll get it done. And we'll get it done with the right people for the right reasons going forward. Because this is honestly, I was saying this at the beginning of the season. We can make one deal and it all just kind of sinks into place. And then boom, all of a sudden it's working finally. And that's what happened. That's what happened. We made the one deal. And I'm like, y'all, we're not that far off from things. Y'all wanted to tear down and rebuild some people. I was like, we're not that far from things. We make one deal and it can totally change everything like that. And that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. We made one deal and it's changed everything completely. And it's absolutely awesome. And I'm so glad. I'm so happy. Oh my gosh, this season has been difficult. Now it's very much more easier to manage and be happy as a Raptors fan. That's for sure. Most saying stars of the game, the new ramp up roster equals everyone. Monique is just giving it everybody. You get a car. You get the car. You get a car. Okay. Monique Winfrey. Yes. Let's give them all cars today for the excellent play and the W's. That's right. You get a car. Seymour saying convincing win, clean the plate, rely on Masai. That's right. Trust in Bobby and rely on Masai. That's right. I love it. You want me to give my brother a dunk? All right. We'll give Carl Otts a dunk. Carl is on the dunk sheet. He's getting his first dunk for 2024. That's right. All right, let's see. Dunk for Carl. You want to give him a dunk too? All right, you guys are all about giving my little brother dunks. All right, he's getting 2 dunks from 2 different Raptor freaks there. Seymour saying Aaron Gordon keeps getting mauled by dogs. He's trying to say first Kyle Lowry a few years back. Now an off-leash dog bit him in his face and the hand. Ouch. Yeah, I'm not laughing because he got hurt. Honestly, I'm not. But it's funny that he made this joke because he's talking about the Aaron Gordon, Kyle Lowry incident from years ago. And I think that's pretty funny. Seymour, you're going to get a dunk. You're actually doing pretty good today. You're getting a few dunks today. You're getting a dunk for that one. No, that's an unfortunate situation. Aaron Gordon playing with his dog, and the dog got a little aggressive and bit his face and bit his arm. Yeah, I don't keep dogs like that. If I have a dog that can maul me at any given moment just because it's confused or upset, yeah, I'm not keeping a dog like that. Some people keep dogs like that for protection, but you don't necessarily need to have that level of like crazy dog. But whatever. I'm glad he's healthy and come back and he's playing again because that's there's always been weird incidents and injuries that people have had. Like way back, Lionel Simmons had Nintendo-itis. He played his Game Boy too much and he messed up his thumb. And he was all out for the Kings because he played too many video games on his Game Boy and he hurt his thumb. So, yeah, there's always weird injuries. Well, mauled by a dog. That's a new one. Getting hit by a car on a bike. Kelly Oubre Jr. Yeah, this is just that kind of year. Dog maulings and bike hit and runs is going on around the league. Cowboys saying, have a blessed and safe day, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Make sure you smash the like button, y'all. Let's go. You go, Cowboy. And on that note, I'm going to give a plug for Cowboys company, Tada. Tada Cleaning Services. Call 647-833-6844. They will come and be a handyman at your house. If you're not that handy, if you don't have any skills, well, Bradley can come and help you with whatever you need done. In fact, these guys are all-purpose, jack-of-all-trades kind of guys. They can come in and do any kind of work on your house that you need done. So call Bradley at Tada if you need him. He will come and help you. Stargate saying spicy barbecue with yak sauce. I kind of like that. I want it to be the whole dish. Why can't it just be spicy barbecue yak? Seriously, let's just put the yak in the roast and just put the spicy barbecue sauce all over it. It doesn't have to be yak sauce. Just make it yak meat and put that spicy barbecue sauce on it. Trevor J saying NBA Chev, he said RJ's defense is very impressive. Yeah. I'm so glad Chev's back off the bench. He's back off the DL. That YouTube has done things right and put him back on the airwaves. Thank you, YouTube. Let's be a beacon for free speech, YouTube as a platform. And let's not come down on Chev for stupid shit. Yeah, seriously. Let that man say what he has to say. Give him his platform. Don't take his platform away. As a YouTube creator myself, I did not like how you did the dirty to NBA Chev this past week when he had very important Raptor things to go on and rant about, and y'all are taking his channel away from him. What are y'all doing, YouTube? Messing with Chev like that. That's right. We'll start a union if we have to as YouTube Raptors people. Yeah, or just YouTube creators in general. Let's start a union. We got to watch out for this kind of crap. That's right. That's right. Monique is saying we ate in the third. 72-52 is what made me happy. Yeah, I was really happy to see that 20-point lead. You know, Darko, once again, saying don't look at the score. Just play right, play well, and keep adding to it. Don't mess around. In some ways, that's really smart that we got that lead up that high, because they did surge back and try to come and take that game from us. And, well, we held them off. And those are good tests for our team. Very good tests. David's here. Good to see David Saborin, one of the top-notch Raptor freaks here in the 416. Hey, we haven't lost a game all year, and this team is undefeated. There you go. Short memory. Short memory. Yeah, we just got 2 games in 2024, and we're perfect, baby. 2-0. Let's go make it 3-0. I posted in our Raptor Freak chat yesterday. Sacramento, you're next with Goldberg. Yeah, dun 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 dun, dun. Sacramento, you're next. I should take my hat off so I'm bald like Goldberg, but I have the headphones on. MSJ saying Barnes is the super glue of this team now. He must see that this squad fits his game and vice versa. With the other 3 guards, he can really be a point forward now and glue the back and front courts. There's everything. Scotty's everything. Scotty can be everything. Why you want to label him? Put him in a box. He's a point guard. No, he's everything. He's a center. He's a forward. He's a guard. He can take it all the way down the yard and dunk it on you hoes. He can hit a turnaround. He can hit a 3. He can do whatever he wants. You will see. That's right. This is Scott. Scott can do whatever he wants. Just do what you want, Scott. Just win. Just do winning plays. Go get that big, voracious rebound like you're an anime character. That's what they said the other game. It's like when he went up and got that rebound against Cleveland late, he looked like an anime character. Wow. You know, Scott can do it all. And that's like, we should not limit him and say, you're just a point guard. You're just a point guard. Fuck that. Let him be a center. Let him be a forward. Let him do whatever he wants. Let him score from all levels of the game. Down low, in the post, in the lane, on transition, taking a 3. I don't care. Scotty's good. He can do whatever he wants. Green light, green light, green light. That's what I'm saying right there. Super glue and glue. We got glue and glue. RJ and Scotty. Glue and glue. Glue. Lots of glue. Wayne's saying Dennis' contribution off the bench is vital. It's consistent. He has to be aggressive off the bench. That's the job. Run the second unit and prevent any drop-off in scoring baskets. Who won the chain? They gave the chain to Quick. That's what they did. They had a little open gym moment, giving the chain to Emmanuel quickly. And you know what he said? It's so awesome. It's a beautiful thing. And it just really shows the personality of our new point guard, Emmanuel, that he said, thank you, coach. That's what he said. Darko came over and put it on his head And he said, "Thank you, coach." And you know what? They showed off the addition that made the chain even better. They made it spin. They put a little rotor on it. He's like, show him. And he like spun it around. It was cool. But yeah, quickly got the chain last night. He got the chain. And I agree about your point about Dennis, Wayne. In some ways, he's got to be aggressive to be the fully potential of Dennis Schroeder. And oh man, I love what he did. He did. All right, let's do the Instagram stories real quick. Honestly, this is a good point for me to do it. First, we got Marquise Noel, Mr. New York City. He is in College Park. He's got a picture of his old coach, Coach Tang, and it's his birthday. Reverend Ray Tang. Happy birthday to Ray, coach of Kansas State. He loves his old college coach. He misses his brother, is what Mr. New York City is saying. He misses his brother, and he's got a nice picture of him with his niece, and they're doing a pose. They're twins. And then there's a quote saying, when you're 5'7", you have to be the sharpest, the smartest, and think 2 steps ahead. That's exactly right. That's why I love this guy. He's fundamentally really, really good. He's a good shot. And that's the only way you get anywhere near the NBA at 5'7". You got to be perfect in all kinds of ways. Emmanuel quickly putting on blast his open gym moment, coming off the court and getting the chain from the team. And, we're seeing all kinds of people speaking him up. He's showing his after game interview with Kayla Gray. And man, he was really good on the mic. He's very much, he's going to give all my thanks to God and then my teammates. And that's what he's saying. It's like, it's about my teammates. And I'm glad I get to go on the court and show off the gift that God gave me on the every time I don't take it lightly. That's right. And Dennis posted him getting the chain. I wasn't sure if Dennis was going to do this because normally he does do it. And Dennis said, "Welcome, Brody," to Emmanuel quickly. And he's got the chain around his neck. And then Emmanuel wrote DS-17 takedown. So I like this. It seems like there's a good bonding going on between Schroeder and Quickly already. And this is good news for Raptors fans, honestly. Dennis coming in the game looking stylish with his little bag. Always looks like a bag man in like some sort of 90s Quentin Tarantino movie or something like that. That's kind of the vibe that Dennis gives me when he's kind of coming into the game with his little bag and his sunglasses. Let's see. Yeah, there's a picture of him in warm-ups and on the court with Scotty and a layup. And then there he is with Emmanuel saying, "Welcome, Brody." I love that. I love that interaction. And then he reposted Emmanuel reposting him. So that's the love. When you see a post and a repost and then a repost, that's your pure love. That's your pure love right there. I love that so much. Dennis and Emmanuel keep bonding. And we got Siakam. He's actually showing clips from Blur Holland View and showing what he did with PS43 Foundation last year with the camp over in Africa and all kinds of good stuff that he's doing. The dedicating of the court that I used to play on near Kensington at Augusta with the Leafs player. Yeah, just a good year for Siakam with PS43 Foundation. It's all kind of recapped on his Instagram stories right now. And then Monique has got a great fact on her Instagram for us. Emmanuel Quickly is the 5th player in Raptors history to score 40-plus points in his first 2 games with the team. So I'm wondering who the other 4 players are. I would guess maybe it's like Kawhi and I don't know. It's Barnes on that list, maybe? I don't know. But that's interesting that he's only the 5th player in Raptors history to score 40-plus points for the team in his first 2 games for the team. RJ Barrett showing one of his threes that he made on his Instagram stories. And then some nice defense, actually the dunk that he made, that left-handed jam when he brought it back down. He had gotten hit in the face. That was a really interesting play because RJ kind of showed like a fight and a dog spirit in that moment. He got hit in the face, like a cheap shot, and he was like going like this, and the refs didn't call anything. And then they went up and they missed and quickly got the rebound, and he came down the court and tossed it to him, and RJ came back down and he jammed it left-handed. Really, really nasty dunk. And in some ways, he was getting out that aggression from getting popped in the face, and nobody kept giving a shit about it. And yeah, in some ways, that signified him like, I'm going to compete. You're going to hit me in the face. Well, I'm going to come back at you twice as hard. So I love that left-handed dunk in transition by RJ because in some ways at that moment, he had just got nailed in the face. He really literally had just got nailed in the face. Yeah. David's saying, is this you, Nameless? Yeah, it is Nameless. He has a name today. It's Pally Poppy. He's been doing the Pally Poppy for a little bit, but that is our paisano. That is. Carlos saying, Messiah is really our superstar. Maybe losing the chip team, but still have the architect. Listen, I told y'all, Chuck D agrees with me. The NBA took apart our championship team. They dismantled it. In some ways, that voices that come in here and say Siakam should be gone are doing the last bit of the job. Like, y'all idiots are trying to completely dismantle our championship team are the idiots who come in and say we need to trade Siakam. That's what I'm saying. You need to hold on to those ties, the culture, the heritage of the 2019 Toronto Raptors champion team. Well, Siakam's that last bond in some ways. I mean, Boucher, not really. Jama, okay, a little bit, but no, Siakam. In some ways, we need to protect him like crazy. Do the Suns, I mean, do the Warriors not have Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green still? They do. So they have all these ties to all these championships from like the last 10 or so years. And we can't keep just one of our guys. Come on, Raptors Nation. We need to keep at least one of our prominent champions, and that is Siakam. And that's why I say over and over again, we keep him. And they dismantled our team, and Masai and Bobby have been trying to keep the ship afloat with water coming onto it like crazy, partly because of the pandemic, partly because of Tampa, partly because on the down low, the Raptors were dismantled by the NBA because they did not really want our team to be as good as they were with Kawhi. They really didn't. Chris Kim saying, OG literally my favorite Raptor over the last 5 years, but it's clear to see the team is better now. There you go, Chris Kim. Listen, this is a great Raptor fan. Even though he loves OG, he still loves the Raptors, and he can see the light. He can see this team is better in this at this point. And I love you, Chris. I'm so glad to see you, man. Wayne saying, kind of hate or let me say dislike when we're talking ball and the conversation about players' possible earnings come up. Don't care about the pockets. Just play professionally and simply ask. You know what? I am totally with Wayne Strainer on this. I completely hate this kind of aspect of talking about things too. In some ways, money and contracts is not interesting to me at all. At all. In some ways, it's a tool used by people around sports nations to kind of cause insecurity, to kind of cause like confusion. Well, you're not going to be able to pay him. Well, you know what? I don't give a shit. I'm going to be like Siakam. Siakam says, I don't care about the money stuff. I have people that take care of that. I just care about the basketball stuff. And I want to be more like that too. In some ways, this isn't the channel. If you want to watch like contract breakdowns and salary cap, like figuring it out, I'm not going to do that kind of shit. We used to have Mike, who came in all the time, Logical Raptors fanatic, who kept up with all that and kind of helped us with that kind of Blake Murphy kind of stuff. You're not going to get that here. In some ways, the contract stuff is not interesting to me, just like Wayne Strainer. I'm a very present guy. I trust in Bobby Masai. I want to just see the product they give us and watch them play basketball. I really don't want to get hung up on the business side of things. Just like what Wayne's saying here. It's boring. In some ways, it's a drag. In some ways, it's depressing. It's like, don't pop my cloud. Let's just enjoy the team right now. And let's not worry about having to pay certain people this and that in the offseason. Let's just go forward with this. I'm totally with Wayne on this. He got a dunk. Stargate saying, I'm done with spaces. I can't deal with the adolescent prattle talking fuckery. The Bob rebuilders, the idiots, the 6-year-olds that, you know, just don't know what the fuck they're talking about because they haven't been alive long enough. Yeah, it's disgusting. I get you, Stargate. Listen, more and more people are flocking away from Twitter. The people are realizing Elon's completely destroyed it and made it all absolutely garbage. You cannot go there to find news anymore in a factual way. There's too much bullshit on there. I mean, I applaud anyone who's able to get away from Twitter. In some ways, I need it for what I do on this channel. And it's really like 3 or 4 accounts that I will listen to at this point. Woj, Grange, and Lewinberg. And otherwise, I'm not listening to anybody else on Twitter. I'm not listening to any of the former players. I'm not listening to most of the ESPN or media people. I told you the 3 names that I listen to the most. Those 3, because they give me news, and that's all I care about. I don't care about conjecture. I don't care about opinion. I don't care about fear mongering. I just want to know the news when it comes out. Is there a transaction? Is there news about injuries? Somebody's getting back, somebody's injured, whatever. That's all I care about. I don't want to go on there and hear all that other garbage. And I applaud you. If you're out of spaces or out of Twitter at this point, hey, that's probably good for your sanity. Wayne's saying, consider this, freaks. RJ will bond positively with Dennis. RJ knows the commitment necessary to win at FIBA and be an MVP. Look for that bonding to occur and flourish. I think in some ways, Dennis, just like Fred before him, was frustrated with the unprofessionalism of some of the people on our team. Well, it may be that some of the most unprofessional people are gone from this team. And I'm not going to say who it was, but I'm just saying that's an interesting thing that's going on right now. And I think that part of what is emboldening Dennis is now that he has people that kind of have the same standard as him. That it's hard to have a standard of how you want to carry yourself with the team when a lot of the people on the team are not doing the same thing. And it's frustrating. So in some ways, he may have rubbed people the wrong way because he got frustrated and he was outspoken about it. And then everybody's like, "Whoa, what's your problem, bro? We just play in the NBA." It's like, look, we play in the NBA, but I may care on another level than you guys care. And well, maybe Emmanuel and RJ are like him more. And there, it's more of the culture is more ensconced in it. I think that also the bonds of having Garrett Temple, Otto Porter, and Thad Young around, it really it increases this kind of stuff because when they see good behaviors around the team, they encourage it, they reinforce it. And if RJ's coming in like an exemplary young player who has the right kind of attitude, the right get after it, the right preparation, the right mental thinking about it, Manuel, same thing. These guys will be like in reinforcing. It's like, yeah, Scott, you saw what Emmanuel did out there. Yeah, that's what a really good pro does and stuff like that. And it's like it's a good learning lesson for all the young Raptors, whether it's Grady, Koloko, whoever. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it so much. I feel like the culture and the chemistry on our team's really good. And in some ways, guys like Garrett and Thad reinforce it and kind of make it like easier to happen. They couldn't do it before for some reason with the mix we had, but now they can. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's see. Trevor's saying, I love how IQ skips after hitting a 3-point. Yeah, that's going to be a new thing for us. We got Dennis doing the freeze. We got Scotty posing and yelling. We got Quickly with the skip, this quickly skip. And it's so joyful and just so fun. He's like, it's so awesome. And everybody on the bench was going crazy for him, too. Did y'all notice that Scotty yells every single time one of the Grizzlies shoot? Like early in the game, it was quiet in the arena. And every time somebody would shoot, when Scotty was near them, he'd go, "Ah!" He's like he's trying to scare them. And it works to a degree. Now, this is a technique I used when I was playing soccer as a young child. I was known as the screamer. And I would try and get people off their game by screaming in their ear when I got close to them on the soccer field. Yeah, so Scotty's kind of doing something I used to do when I was a little kid. It's a signature move of mine, the screamer. They called me that in the soccer league, the screamer. Well, in some ways, Scotty's the screamer on our team now. It's almost like we have a little orchestra of noises that come out of our players on the court now with Siakam's and one when Siakam yells and screams, and then Scotty's yelling on the defensive end at guys when they're trying to put shots up. It's fun. I love it. I can hear you, Scott. It's hilarious when you go, "Ah!" It's so good. And sometimes it works. Sometimes it works. Yeah, it's awesome. Let's see. Paul B saying IQ skipping is such a great celebration on his way to picking up the Larry O'Brien. There you go. Skip all the way down to get in that trophy, Emmanuel, please. David saying the angle of the mic was much better. The angle of the mic was much better yesterday. It's not as clear today as yesterday. Okay, this is good feedback. We don't want feedback, but they told me to keep it up straight and not lean it towards me. I'm supposed to be talking into the side of it, David. I did turn down the volume a little bit. Maybe I'll turn the volume up a little bit. Is that better? Because that may be more of it. It's not necessarily the angle. It's maybe more that I have it down lower that maybe you're seeing. I wanted to not catch so much extraneous noise, so I put it down lower, and I'm just talking and projecting. So, in some ways, I'm a little bit of a pro with the mics and stuff from before. So I'm really going to try and hone the sound of this channel going forward. Let's see. But thank you for the feedback. Kevin's saying, if Jonte Porter can play 10 to 15 minutes a night, hit some threes, we found our backup center. There you go. I think this is likely, Kevin. I like this, Kevin. I think this is likely. Igor's here. Good. What thing good quickly nickname can be? Quickly? Well, Quick. They call him Quick. I also think IQ is a fantastic nickname. I think it's hilarious that Knicks Nation is trying to figure out nicknames for OG right now. There's been a whole thread of like, what should OG's nickname be? And it's funny because like half the comments are like, his name is his nickname. It's like his name is already a great nickname and just should be what it is. In fact, it is a nickname because that's not his legal name. His legal name is something different than OG. OG is his nickname. In some ways, I don't know. They can try and figure it out. In some ways, it's just a natural thing that's going to happen. Like IQ is a great nickname for him. So I think IQ is the right one, Igor. And Quick. They called him Quick after the game. So we're giving the chain to Quick, is what Darko said. So I think Quick is a great nickname. And IQ is a fantastic initials to have. In some ways, I got to wonder if IQ had a high IQ just because his nickname is IQ. Does he have an enhancement of his intelligence because his initials just happen to be I and Q? There's going to be something like that. If you call your plant dummy, your plant won't grow as well. So it's like if you may flourish with the right labels and say, "Oh, you're a beautiful plant," and then your plant will like just blossom and be happy. It's really how you treat it. So if you're calling somebody IQ all the time, maybe they're smarter, just because the aggregate of being a nickname IQ. I don't know. Maybe I'm windbursting too much on that one. I don't know. Could be effect. Let's see. Stargate saying, "Hey Lex, I read the Chuck D comments on the Raptors. See when an New York basketball head like him and Chev validate the thing we've been saying for how long. Now can't call us conspiracy theorists no more." Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, I'm all about what Chuck D said, and I'm all about him being a Raptors fan on the down low, along with his Knicks fandom. Obviously, he is very much Knicks first, and he should be. He's a New York guy. Man, I have so much respect for Chuck D. He's one of my favorites of all time. I got to see Public Enemy play live in the early 90s at the Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami, opening for U2. It was absolutely insane. It was so good seeing Public Enemy live. They were so good, honestly. And I just feel really lucky that I got to see them at their peak in concert in real life. It was so good, honestly. Flavor Flav, Chuck D, Terminator X. Oh my gosh, Griff. Yeah, they're just amazing band. Seriously, amazing group. Let's see. Mugabe saying, Lex, Robert's only Scotty to shine and everyone around him should be a bum. I know. I don't understand that philosophy of his. Don't you understand Scott wants the best quality teammates around him so he can look good? He wants Siakam. He wants Siakam. He wants RJ and Emmanuel. He's not a hater. In some ways, he wants everybody to be good around him so he can win. That's all he cares about is winning. And when you get with it, Robert, you'll understand that, you dumbass. MSJ saying, I really can't even believe Robert is still going as a YouTuber on the Raps. When does common sense hit the guy? Never is my guess. Well, the thing I would ask is his followers. If you truly are a Raptors fan, you should not be watching him because he's destructive. He was extremely toxic and destructive towards our team last year and caused a lot of the confusion on social media surrounding people like Fred VanVleet that was so stupid. You can look at what Fred's doing for Houston now and realize how dumbass Panzer is. Like, seriously, you're an idiot. You said all that dumb shit about Fred last year, and look at what he's doing for the Rockets. He really shows that he has a low IQ about team basketball and what it takes to win in basketball. Once again, I will say he has prearranged objectives, and that is to make the Raptors worse and worse, and then Scotty will leave and come to an American team. That is his ultimate goal. If y'all watch Panzer and also me, listen to me right now and understand his ultimate goal is to sabotage and make the team worse so that the option is Scotty should leave and go to a team in the U.S. and play for a United States NBA team. I'm telling y'all, that's his ultimate goal right there. And if y'all want to follow that and get behind him and support a channel that's doing shit like that ultimately wants Scotty off this team, well, go ahead and understand you're not really being a good Raptors fan is what I'm saying right now. Yeah, G saying they asked Scotty how he felt about OG and Precious leaving. He said, paraphrasing, it was sad they left. It's my job to make the new guys feel comfortable. Front office spoke to me about the vision. Yeah, I heard that part about it. And listen, he's got a man. I know he loves Masai, and listen. They have a really good relationship, Scotty and Masai. And honestly, he's probably really upfront with him about what they're doing. In fact, I've seen Scotty be in the war room for drafts. I've seen him be involved in like a different level. Like they did it with Fred too before. Like they bring Fred in and let him be involved in front office stuff and really show that he's a part of shaping what they're doing. And they're doing that with Scott right now. And that goes a long way. In some ways, that tickles Scotty's ego. Is that like, look, my front office, my GMs are actually having me come into the front office boardroom and asking me what I think about this and having me involved or around in these situations. You pay attention. You will see Scott in the draft war room when we draft someone. He was there when we drafted Grady, wasn't he? He was sitting in the room with them when they drafted Grady, and he enjoyed being in the draft war room on draft day last year. So this is the thing. He's involved in our front office decisions, and that makes him feel special and happy because he feels like he has more control over things than just being on the court because he's being listened to by our front office. It's so awesome. Let's see. G saying RJ's father looks like a hard ass in a good way. No way Smart is going to scare RJ. Laugh out loud. All right, G, you're going to get a dunk for that. You're saying that because of Rowan Barrett Sr., the way he looked in the after the end of the game of the Cleveland game. Yeah, he's not going to be afraid of Marcus because he's had that as his dad for a while. Rowan Barrett's a nice guy. He's a really super nice guy. Maybe he has resting stoic face. And he's just a little bit like stern and stuff like that. I'd love to see more pictures of him smiling. That's good. David saying Smart is old, short, and goofy, has goofy hair. RJ don't give two fucks about that clown. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. In some ways, David Saborin's spirit and his character as a Raptor freak is very much more evident on our team now. Like just how he just said that. That is a little bit more like what RJ Barrett carries himself like that. He don't give a fuck about that clown. You're exactly right. Seymour saying, who got the chain last night? IQ got the chain. That's right. He got his first chain, and they celebrated it nicely. Stargate saying Kia Nurse was on some BS last night. What? I didn't get to hear her, unfortunately. She kept saying Pascal needs to play well to up the trade value and pushing that narrative during the broadcast. I'm looking at her side-eyed now. Yeah, that's bullshit. Yeah, don't do that, Kia Nurse. You TV personalities, we're listening to y'all. And if we think you're not, in some ways she may be holding that line with some of the things that, that's TSN though. I would say if it was Rogers, I would be like, okay, I know who told her to say that. But with TSN, I wonder sometimes. I don't know. I don't like that. Kia, you're not making any friends in Raptors Nation with those kind of dialogues and saying that stuff. Stargate's calling you out. If I had heard you, I would have been pissed off too. They're part of the people that I don't listen to anymore. I really don't listen to the pregame shows with Brad Fay and Sherman Hamilton. I love Sherm. He's great. I'll listen to him on Raptors Tonight with Randy, but not before the game, because when they set it up with Michaud and Brad Fay, they're often really corny, or they're really they sound like they don't know what they're fucking talking about half the time. And then the other thing is that they're very much slanting and doing things like you just said Kia Nurse did. Yeah, it's the same reason why I don't like Sam Mitchell on our broadcast either. Yeah, it's the same reason. In some ways, there's certain people around the Raptors broadcast, and I wish we could just go away. Just go away. There's some that I very dearly love and cherish for sure, like people like Jack Armstrong, Alvin Williams, Sherman Hamilton, Paul Jones. These are people that I really love, and I think do their job well. But there's other ones that are around that are, they shouldn't be around. Kia's great. She should be around. I'm disappointed in her for saying that. Click saying, my girlfriend got bit by a dog when she was younger, and she's scared of them, but I love dogs. Yeah, it's a really terrifying thing. If it happens to you when you're very young, it can cause you to have a very, very strong fear. I had a best friend when I was younger that had that problem, that got bit in the face, and he had scars on his face. And he was terrified of dogs in certain ways, partly because of that trauma. Yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad. In some ways, it's about the dog that you get, and the owner is the one who influences the dog. It's not necessarily that any breed is wrong or bad. It's just that the owner, the way they train it and the way they treat the dog is usually the problem with the whole thing. Isaac saying, TIM, like and subscribe. Thank you, Isaac. Stardeem's here. Good to see Stardeem. What other platform is this stream on? Facebook? Nice question and welcome. We're here every morning, 9:30 a.m., talking Raptors daily stuff. Tomorrow we'll do a preview for the Sacramento game. I'll have the referee crew. I'll have all the latest injury news and just insight and stuff to talk about. We'll react to the 9:05 game tonight. We have a special member group on Facebook where I do a live comment a chat box during the game, but that's for members. You have to join the channel. And you get the green lettering, and you get the little Raptor icon. And you get access to our emoticons. But that's how you can get that's the only other place I'm doing stuff with is on there. So it's either Facebook in our chat as a member. You join, you can either get gifted. There's a purple level membership that's at $5, and you can see my live commenting during the game, which is fun. I don't know. Some people came in there and we were commenting a lot last night during the game. So Stardeem, I'm not on any kind of platforms like Audible or SoundCloud or any other places for just doing the live stream live right now. And you can get me right here. So I hope you'll come back and join us more often, Stardeem. Thank you. Country Kong saying, Lex, let the IQ era begin. He must be in basketball heaven with all the open looks he's getting. IQ was scorching hot. It was like watching Maxey or Dame. I like Jonte, and Dennis helped us close. There you go, Country Kong. I love your comment. It's very positive. And yeah, I like everything that you're saying there. It's definitely something where we've got to do things right to close games, especially if they're going to be close. And I like that. We have a way better aptitude and capability to close games and win them at this point. I feel like before I didn't have any faith in our guys to do the right things and enough to make it add up to winning. Well, now I do. And even the free throws and stuff. Let's go look at the team stats real quick. since we're talking about this real quick, it's very interesting. Some of the team stats. We shoot really well now. We shot 48% from the field, 46% from three, y'all. Seriously, we're shooting 46% from three last night. We usually shoot 20%. And we even shot well at the line, 81.5% at the line, missing 5 free throws out of 27. I'll take that. That's way better than what we've been doing at certain times. The shooting percentages for last night are phenomenal. We out rebounded them by 3. We got 25 assists. Now, this is something interesting. This is such a difference from last year. Last year, I would say, Nick, can our team get 25 assists in this game? That was a golden number for me. I was like, if we can get 25 assists, we'll be good. But Nick barely ever got us 25 assists, the way he coached and the way we were isolating so much. Now, this year, I was like, 25 assists, that'd be great. Well, we got 25 assists last night, and Darko wasn't happy about it. He wants 30. He wants 30 every game. He's saying this like, I'm going to only be happy if the Raptors get 30 assists every single game. That is a goal we have to have every single game. So he wasn't happy with the overall assist total from last night. And that he's going to nitpick in those kind of ways. You say, well, you guys, you should have made a couple more layups, and then off the assists would have gone up to 30. It's that kind of stuff that's going on. So I like that. His goal is 30. So we've upped it from 25 with me personally last year. Now he wants it 30. The blocks were amazing by Blocko. Turnovers, not bad. We had a couple more than them. I really liked how many fast break points we had in the first half. At halftime, we had 16 fast break points. So we were really moving the ball up and down the court. So lots to like about this game. A 20-point lead was the highest lead that we had for the whole entire game. Majorly good stuff. Bam. And MSJ saying, yeah, everyone, like the stream. Dana's saying, I told NBA Chev he has to move here now after his Toronto man's talk. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. In some ways, it's so weird that I don't even know Chev's ever came to Toronto before. And the way he's just a real one for us is awesome. You need to come here. Come to Toronto, Chev. Come to Toronto. It'd be fun. If you come here, I'll go to a game with you, man. We'll go down there and I'll show you all the secrets of the Scotiabank Arena. All the interesting little things I know. Being a former employee of MLSE and working for the arena from 1999 to 2004, the Vince Carter years. Yeah, that's right. I was working for the Raptors during Vince years, and I was in the arena at Air Canada Center when they opened it. And, oh, man, those are great times back then. All right, Milbester's here. Let's check in with our Knicks friend, Milbester. Good morning, Raptor Streak. How was the Grizzlies game versus the Raptors? Big win last night for us versus the Bulls. I know they didn't have Levine, but they're getting him back from his foot injury on Friday. Yeah, good job winning. I saw the box score a little bit. A big game from Randall. And Jalen Brunson, very, very good game. DeMar had a good game. It's not that OG totally shut him down. DeMar getting 28, I believe. But, yeah, great plus-minus by our guy Anunoby for your team in the game last night. And you guys got the right result. That's what matters. So both the Raptors and the Knicks are 2-0 since the trade, and it's working for both of us. Yeah, the game was fun last night. In some ways, we got to pinch ourselves. We are so blessed to have Emmanuel Quickley on our team. We are so blessed. Fiercely saying that thank you, coach, was beautiful to hear. Showed respect and gratefulness at the same time. He seems very humble. I like his demeanor. RJ and IQ already embracing Raptors culture. In some ways, RJ has Raptors culture in his blood. In some ways, it's been conditioned into him. From the years of watching Chris Bosh, DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, Jonas Valanciunas, Dwayne Casey. This is the thing. This kid was watching all this and going to games as a kid. Basketball was his sport, and his city is Toronto. So it's something that hits a little bit different when it is pertaining to RJ Barrett in a Raptors jersey. Something it hits just a little bit different. I'm telling you, there's something really cool about it. But yes, the humbleness and the connection to higher power that Emmanuel Quickley has keeps him grounded, humble, and keeps him smart. In some ways, I'm telling you, I've seen all these signs of him that he has an ultimate gratitude. He understands that life can't giveth and taketh away. And he understands to have the blessings come down. Gratitude is the best way for them to shower on him. And boy, oh boy, has he got the right head on his shoulders. And what a character guy, indeed, Fiercey. Stardeem saying, I'm a new subscriber, so I'm just curious as to where the other comments are because I don't see them on YouTube. Yeah, it's on Facebook. And it's something like if you're a member, you can add me as a Facebook friend. and you get to be in our private Raptor Freak Facebook group where we post all the news. Like, it's a really great place to be if you want the breaking news. Like, if you want the practice interviews right away, if you want any kind of Raptors related content that's put out, Monique, Trevor, and myself and other people are sharing it in that chat right away when it comes out. So you don't miss anything. You really, really don't, because we're catching it and we're bringing it to you. So highly think about joining as a member, because you'll get some sort of like really quick access and you will totally be in the know about everything Raptors if you're in that group with us. Yeah, no problem, Stardeem. Any question is welcome, and there are no dumb questions here. There really aren't. Let's see. G saying, yeah, there's a Facebook group. I don't have Facebook, so maybe somebody in the comments can help him out. Yeah, it's really we'll figure it out. In some ways, it's like if somebody gives some membership to you, you can figure it out, or if you join. Let's see. Milbester saying he was out for a month with a foot injury. Kobe White had a good game, but Brunson had a bounce back game. OG's doing good defensively, still figuring out how to get him more involved offensively. Yeah. I mean, last night is kind of an OG game. You know, you're going to get a range of scoring from him. You will get maybe a 30-point game, maybe like once every 12 games or so, maybe even less. You'll get 20-point games, maybe like 4 or 5 out of those 12 games. And then most often he'll be in the teens. Just so you know, Milbester, I don't want you to expect too much from young OG, because in some ways he's going to do what he's going to do, but it's going to add up to winning. And that's what matters. David saying, well, good luck with that. Holmes can't dribble to save his life. You're talking about OG. Come on, let's be nice, David. Milbester's a nice guy. The Knicks are fucked, bud. Just abandon ship and join the Lakers fan base. No. Listen, if Milbester's going to leave the Knicks nation, which he will not, trust me, he's a real one. I can tell. He's a 100% New York guy. He's a Yankees fan and a Knicks fan. He's not going to, if he's going to join anybody else, it'll be us. Watch. He's not going to go join the Lakers. Why would he join them, David? He's got RJ and Emmanuel to like on the Raptors now, and there's a lot of hybrid Knicks Raptors fans now all of a sudden because of this trade. I was saying it earlier. Denal saying, I'm not sure if it's been mentioned, and I know not everyone is religious, but I love that IQ gives praise to God every interview. He's humbled and grounded, positive energy. This is part of his humbleness and gratitude, is his faith. And I love it too. I'm the same way. I'm exactly the same way. I'm not that religious as a person, but I love when somebody's devout and they really believe it and they really use it for the good things in their life. Some ways religion's used for really awful things in the name of religion. But when you use it on a personal level in the right way for your own personal growth and being who you are as a character, that's good. That's a good thing. There's all kinds of bad things going on in this world right now because of religion, people dying, people getting bombed. But you know, Emmanuel Quickly is a great example of religion in the right sense for giving him guidance, giving him structure in his life. And that's that. You can't hate that at all. Dana saying, I haven't been on Twitter for a year. I don't blame you. I do not blame you. David saying, I'm not religious, but I agree, Denial. I love it too. Good vibes. And this is a great thing, is this is a fast way for them to get in the same place. Like they could be having, you know, prayer circles or little Bible studies between Emmanuel, Grady, Scotty, different people that are very devout on the team. And that's never a bad thing to have, like extra bonding between teammates because they share a faith. That's nothing wrong with that. A lot of good sports teams had this underlying as a part of the factor of why they did so well. Let's see. Fiercely saying new setup. Yeah. Mischief saying, I love that about Barnes, Scotty, the screamer. Yeah, the screamer. He's like, oh, it's like the other thing they're doing is the cornet jump. I saw somebody do it the other day, and I was like, they did the cornet jump, and it worked. It's basically where a shooter's outside and you can't get to him. I think Chris did it. I think Chris Boucher did it. And you just kind of jump even though you're far away and act like, and it kind of blocks the hoop, and they kind of miss it sometimes, even if you're not anywhere near them. You could be like 15 feet away, and they shoot, and you jump. And sometimes that can mess up their shot. It's a really weird phenomenon. David saying, if he can't close our screamer in their face, yeah, it's good defense. It's an extension of his defense, his voice. He's extending his defense. It seems to work. Yeah, a little bit. Milbester's saying there was more trade rumors after the OG trade, but they said that Fournier's $18 million contract is the same as Murray and Hawks. Hang on. All right, it's jumped ahead. All right, Milbester, you got to understand, we're not going to do too much of your Knicks talk. All right. Is the same as Murray, and Hawks could flip him due to their team financial situation. Interesting. Yeah, you go ahead and get DeJounte Murray. You go ahead and make a mistake. I don't know. Milbester, once again, this is a comment that really isn't in our area of concern. Fiercely saying, looking great, Lex. Head into the beach, fam. I'll cheer on your behalf and keep the positive vibes going. We've got a team. There you go. Fiercely's living a good life in Colombia, in South America right now. That's right. We're international. We got Bryce in Kentucky. We got Fiercely down in Colombia right now. She's going to the beach. She's going to a nice warm beach in the southern hemisphere, south of the equator right now. Oh, the life of Fiercey. So good. I'm so happy you're down there right now, Marie. Jill's saying, I blocked Mr. Nix. Feels good. She can't see you, Milbester. She got sick of all your comments. Listen, I am going to do this, y'all. If you can't pay attention to the cutoffs, if you can't pay attention and not filling up the chat way too much, just dominating one person, I'm going to put the timer back on, which means y'all can't comment but ever like a couple minutes. And you can't do it like a spam comments over and over again. So just so you know, I want to keep it free flowing and not have to put those kind of things on it. But if y'all kind of overdo it too much, I will do it going forward just because, and it may be I have to partly because the volume of how many people are watching may increase and I may not be able to do all the comments like I like to do on the show. And I may have to limit it. In some ways, we might have to think about your comments as being like a really quick question or a nice little block of something to say. And then maybe you make like 3 or 4 or 5 for the whole stream. And that's it. And because in some ways I want everybody to get a chance and I don't want to have too much of the same stuff repetition. And it's kind of good when we hit different subjects and move on to the next one. This is a free flowing live stream that's very interactive with you guys. And part of it is you guys curate how my content is. And if you come in with good comments, well, it makes the stream way better. And that's sometimes something I want y'all to think of as when you're writing in stuff. Is this good for content on Lex's live stream? Is kind of what I want y'all to kind of think about. David's saying, oh, you can block certain people on here. Yeah, you can, David, if you want to. Somebody's bugging you. 1:15, drink water. All right. Yeah, it's 11:36. So I'm catching up. Thank you, Jillian. David, haha, what did Shev say exactly to get 1 week suspension? He was cussing at the team for losing to the Pistons. He got really oh no, it was Utah. He got in trouble for it. He was cussing because the Utah lost. He was mad because the Raptors lost to Utah, and he said some stuff. And YouTube gave him a harassment charge. They said you're harassing. I guess he was harassing the Raptors by cussing at them. I don't know. It was stupid. Let's see. Stargate saying, I'm wondering if Scotty's newfound fame is causing him to be feeling himself a bit too much. Just a thought. It's weird. In some ways it's really weird because the interaction I've had with Scott where he kind of doesn't get with it that he's so like popular and known. Like he's like, how do you know who I am in Europe on his Twitch one time? Like we're in there talking to him and some guy came in and he's like, I'm in Germany and I love you, Scotty. He's like, wait, you know who I am in Germany? He doesn't totally understand his fame in certain levels. I mean, it's dawning on him and he probably knows it better than that moment 2 years ago. But in some ways, this is something true that in some ways the fame is very new to Scott and he's not totally comfortable with it. In some ways, he's kind of like, yeah, I'm just a guy who plays basketball and you like me. Why do you care about me so much? It's like, dude, you're the future of the Raptors and you're a badass and we like really want you to be successful and awesome. Yeah, but why do you care about me so much? Dude, you do not understand what I'm saying? You're like the future. You're like the hope for our team. We like you a lot. He's like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I was like, and one day I told him I'm proud of him. He's like, Raptor Free, why are you proud of me? I was like, dude, I'm proud of you. I'm just proud of you. He's like, why? Why? I was like, I'm proud of you because you play for the Raptors and you do amazing things. There is a little bit of a learning and maturity and connection to kind of figuring out just his fame and grappling with it. That's for sure. Because I saw in the early signs of him in his rookie year and that summer afterwards, he wasn't totally getting just how famous he is. He really wasn't, and to a degree. So it is kind of interesting subject. Fun guy saying, to be fair about your leading point, Thad and Garrett kind of hard for them to lead when you have Fred running around proclaiming himself the leader to public and anyone listening. Now they're the vets for sure. I don't know if that's the right way to put this. Fred earned being the captain of our team. He got it handed to him from Kyle Lowry, who very much earned being the captain of our team too. It's just in some ways, maybe the captainship of Fred was abrasive and some people had a hard time with it. But I don't think this was an issue at all. I don't think that Thaddeus and Otto had a problem with Fred being the leader last year.
I think that in a lot of ways, he reinforced Fred. In fact, I would see behind the scenes Fred sitting with Thad a lot and talking to him, and they were very close. And in some ways, Thad backed up and was with Fred as like standing up with him as a vet. I don't think this was an issue as much as people think. I think that once again, we're coming back around to idiot Robert Pencer, who manufactured more problems with Fred than there actually were. Like it was just his content putting out bullshit over and over again, and people would parrot it and go around and say, Fred this, Fred that, Fred this. They just rode that wave. And that's why I want y'all to know how destructive he is. Fred really wasn't a problem last year. Even Scott said himself, I love Freddie. I thought he was great for our team, and I miss him. So if Scott hated playing with Fred so much, just as much as Pencer thought he did, it's really weird that he said he missed him and he liked playing with him. You know, he's so off base and wrong with what he's doing. It really is. He has an agenda, and whatever he's going to say, whatever fits his agenda, even if it's complete lies and bullshit. Scotty never really had a problem with Freddie. That was a manufactured thing on the Pencer basketball thing. Let's see. Jillian saying, I went out of my way to pronounce Ogua properly, and then he got traded. That's funny. Milbester saying Hawks have to pay Bay, and there's all right. You're talking about Hawks and Knicks stuff. Milbester, I'm skipping. Let's see. Fun guy saying not Garrett. Sorry, Thad, Otto, etc. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I know your clarification because Garrett wasn't here last year. Addition of Garrett has even added to the leadership without Fred's interference. Not hating, just saying leaders don't run to the media everywhere screaming, I'm the leader. I love Fred, though, apart from that. I don't really feel like he did that. I mean, if we had things on our jerseys, like the hockey players have C's, he would have had that C and rightfully earned. I had no problem with him being the leader. I had no problem. And MA and the Rockets have no problem with him being the leader down there, and it's working real well. He's making Sengun something else, honestly. In some ways, Fred is really helping that team a lot. And everything he's doing in Houston should just prove your point is wrong, fun guy. The whole narrative about Fred last year was wrong the whole time. And good standing Raptor fans that actually love this team and care about this team never doubted Fred this whole time. I didn't. I thought most of what they said about him was malarkey last year. Malarkey. The biggest load of BS. And I still stand on this. So whatever your narrative you're pushing right here, I don't agree with it. It's messed up. He was the leader. I liked having the figurehead C. In some ways, we're ambiguous with our C right now, and I don't like it completely. I'd like us to have a figurehead. This is the captain of the team, because in some ways that makes it easier to delineate leadership. So everything you're describing about Fred, I had no problem with him. He should have been the captain. He was the rightful captain, and he should have been allowed to do the job the way he wanted to, instead of y'all second guessing him, y'all buying into Robert Misovich's bullshit lies and running with the bullshit that y'all threw at Fred last year. I was protecting him all last year against Pencer, and I was right. We see what Fred does in Houston. Once again, I'm proven right, and fuckface is wrong, because we see what Fred is doing in Houston right now. And so anyway, fun guy, just stop. Just stop with your Fred hate and what you're saying about him. It's not necessary at this point. And in some ways, it's been debunked at this point also. Stargate saying at Milbester, seems you still not understand the concept of this being a Toronto Raptors channel, bro. Like, come on now. You're disrespecting Lex's platform right now. Listen, people can disrespect me. I don't mind that. That's not the problem. The problem is that we have a limited amount of time to do things here, and I have less than 20 minutes until noon, and noon is my cutoff time, Milbester. And if you want to take my valuable time to talk Raptors stuff by putting Atlanta and New York trade stuff in here, nah, I'm going to skip your comments. This is how it is. G saying spicy barbecue, yak, and schnitzel. Maybe that's what it is. It's spicy barbecue schnitzel. And the schnitzel will incorporate both Jakob and Dennis. How about that? Spicy barbecue schnitzel. I like that. That's a good dish. Schnitzel's good. You know, I went to Europe once and I ate a lot of schnitzel. It was very good. It's not bad at all. I like the breading on the veal or whatever, the way they flatten it out and they cook it so nice. It's tasty. It's tasty stuff. You get it right. Paul B saying, I saw the Beastie Boys' final concert at Bonnaroo 2009 and then walked to the other stage and saw Public Enemy play for 2 hours. Incredible night. Chuck D is a great human. Yeah, I love Public Enemy, and I also love that band that he did with Zach from Rage Against the Machine. Oh my gosh, that band was awesome too. Tom Morello and no, it wasn't Zach. It was Tom Morello and Chuck D. What was the name of that band again that they did, that super band? Chuck D. Oh man, they were so good too. I can't remember their name right now, but that was a really good project he did too with Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine. Mobester's saying ESPN after last night's Bulls-Knicks game was just awful takes on the Knicks. They're seeing what the team is doing for the future, and they continue to mock us. Well, I don't feel sorry for you. I'm sorry. They do this to us too. Jillian saying, Lex, with much respect, it would be nice if Scotty was in the war room, but how do we know he was actually there? If he was there, maybe he's part of the reason we got Grady too early. Thanks. All right. That's too much reading into it. No, I saw him. I saw him. He was there the day we had the draft. You can go back and watch the open gym from Grady's draft, and you'll see Scotty sitting in the room with Masai, Bobby, Teresa, and Dan as they're making the calls, as they're talking to the NBA draft people in New Jersey. Scotty's sitting there at the table with them. You can see him, and you can also see. I don't think we had a coach at that time. I think that we were still trying to figure out our coach, or maybe we weren't. Maybe Darko was there too. But yeah, you can see Scott on the open gym. I know he was there. I saw him in the war room, and I don't think he had anything to do with getting Grady early. That's Bobby Webster's call. He wanted a tall shooter. He wanted the best shooter in the draft. And, well, he saw a couple shooters. He saw one that was 6'8" and could grow even taller, and he wanted that one. That's why he picked him instead of Hawkins or George, is because he liked his height. And in some ways, he was still drafting for Vision 6'9" last spring. And that's why Grady got the pick, even though he was maybe a year too early. We didn't know he was a year too early also, although I kind of predicted it when I was doing my draft scouting. I said, Grady's not ready for the NBA right now. I said that. And in some ways, I was anti-picking Grady. I wanted them to pick Jordan Hawkins. And that was my pick. But they picked Grady. I'm like, okay, well, they picked Grady. I'm going to go with the company. I'm going to toot the horn of Grady Dick. I'm going to say this guy is the future. This guy is the best guy we could have gotten because I support our front office. Even though I wanted somebody different, I'm not going to come at them and get all mad and upset like Jalen Suggs people did a couple of years ago. No, I accept life on life's terms. And if my team is deciding this is the direction they want to go, I support them. Now, I'll analyze it. And if I feel like it's not going well, then I'll talk about it then. But otherwise, hey, it's not my ego. The only thing that gets in the way of me saying, oh, we should have picked Jordan Hawkins and lording it over Masai and Bobby about that. No, because it could be in the long run, they're exactly right. And then I'll look stupid if I turned on them and said, oh, you picked Grady Dick. That was a dumb pick. Because honestly, Grady Dick could become something really, really special. It's just that we got to give him time. We just got to give him time. Let's see. Stargate, I blocked him for the day. Okay. David's saying, yeah, me too. This is kind of sick. Thanks, Jill. Jill, you're getting a dunk for informing the crowd here. All right. Jillian's getting her third dunk of the year. Let's see. Escobar Cruz is saying, keep doing what you're doing. Never stop. I always swing by. Thank you, Escobar Cruz. I appreciate you, man. And listen, what I told people is that I'll do this for the rest of my life. You guys want to see me doing the Raptor Freak stream at 9:30 a.m. in 10 years from now? Well, God willing, I will be. God willing, I will be. And this is part of this. Like, I want to build a positive Raptors fan culture around this team because our fan nation has been so toxic and not really getting the right things that are important about how you root for the Raptors. In some ways, it's ego. Like I was just saying, it's like you get mad because they picked Scotty over Jalen Suggs. What's wrong with you guys? And why didn't you trust Masai? And understand that getting Scotty Barnes was the right pick over Jalen Suggs. Some of y'all got crazy about that, but that was your own ego that made you get crazy about that. In some ways, oh, man, Escobar Cruz, thank you. I promise you, man, I'll keep doing what I'm doing. And anytime I get your presence in the chat, I feel honored. How about that? Yeah. Jillian saying at Fun Guy, Fred was taking responsibility for his boobs, not bragging. For his boobs? What about his boobs? Oh, my gosh. This is getting an adult rating now. We talking about boobs today. Jillian's got 11:30 shortened comments. That's right. We're on the home stretch. 12 minutes ago. Dana's saying, Stargate, you're awesome. Milbester needs a timeout. No, Milbester's fine. Listen, I want him to continue to come here. I will manage him as best as we can. If he's going to make a comment that has nothing to do with the Raptors, I'll skip it. All right, y'all? Just so you know. Milbester saying, Stargate, I understand that. Don't worry. Yesterday was fine. Don't worry about it. Wasn't mentioning my team much. I didn't mention it yesterday after Tuesday's Lex stream. It's the slow mode anyway. Okay, so slow mode is on right now. And you can only okay, I was saying I was going to do that. I guess I actually did. I wasn't sure if I put it. You know what, Bill Bester, in a spirit of good things, I'm going to give you a dunk. You got 3 dunks. just for being a good sport. And I don't want these guys to pick on you. In some ways, you're annoying them. And I get it. In some ways, we don't want to talk Knicks, but also I really do find you very, very worthwhile to have around on the stream with us. You're a knowledgeable person, and I enjoy you being here, just so you know, overall. I don't want you to think that I don't want you here. I do want you here, and I want other people to be nicer and more welcoming to Milbester. Okay, please, please. He is trying, and he's listening. That's the thing. He did try, and he did way better yesterday. I have to give him that, and he's doing a good job today too. Jillian saying at Dana, just block for the day. Y'all block him, but I will read him still because I want to see what he has to say. I really do. Dana's saying done. Thank goodness. Now it's all rap stuff. He hasn't really posted that much. He had like maybe 3 comments that were non-Raptors. It's not that bad today. Thank you, Dana from Stargate. And Mischief saying this is the best trade in Raptors history. It ain't too late to say we're a top 4 team. Raptors playing with a smart pace in the fourth, with a lead, killing the clock on offense, and the fourth is your defense. Yeah. Mischief. Great points all around, Jay. Good to see you, base man, this morning. It helps players get their energy back and recharged on defense. The Toronto Raptors are fundamentally sound. You know what? One of the things I really like is our transition defense is now right again. There's none of this easy scores coming down the lane and just scoring like after we score a basket. We're getting back. We're taking a dedication to getting our defense set up every single time. And there's none of this catching us sleeping in certain ways. Another thing I really like is they're very aggressive to get the ball up the court. Like if they score on us, they're trying to inbound it right away and come right up the court really quick. I wanted them to do this for a while, and they're actually doing it correctly right now. So in some ways, our defense is just so much better with the new guys because we're doing better in transition defense. We're actually taking the assignment seriously, and we're getting back, and we're protecting our basket while the other team's trying to come at us quickly after we score. And that was a big fail for most of the season so far. And it's changed. We're taking care of it way better at this point. It's awesome. I love it so much. Mischief, always good to see you. David saying, and you, sir, are a fundamentally sound Raps fan. There you go. There you go, David and Mischief. I love it. Y'all got to meet each other the other day when we had our Raptor Freak meet and greet this past fall. And I'm going to give both y'all dunks for just the camaraderie of the RFF, the Raptor Freak family. There you go, David and Mischief. Bam. There you go. Milbester saying, what's more memorable for me, Lex? All right. Ooh, this is a good question. I can already tell. Milbester might get another dunk for this one. 1992 Jays first championship or the 2019 Raptors first championship? I know the Leafs won so many titles for Toronto in their history. Well, it's for sure the Raptors championship. I mean, I do remember the Jays, both their World Series. I was living in Florida, though, at that time. And it was crazy because, like, even that World Series against the Braves, everybody around me at the party I was at when we won the World Series against the Braves was a Braves fan. And I was cheering for the Blue Jays very openly in that group. I was like the minority, the only one in the whole house party that was rooting for Toronto in Tallahassee, Florida, which was full of Atlanta Braves fans. And they hated me by the end of that night. They chased me out down the street. They want to beat me up because they had lost. Yeah, so that's pretty memorable. But I will have to say, winning the championship with my favorite team, absolute favorite team for my entire life ever, the Toronto Raptors, was a huge, huge moment for me. I will never, ever forget that night when we won. There were so many good things going on in my life at that time. And I will never, ever forget going to the championship parade, being downtown and standing in the masses of people, seeing drunk-ass Mark Gasol falling off the back of the bus, and all the good times and memories from that very impressive long day. It was such a good day. So, so good. So I will say this, Milbester, and Monique, don't X him out. He's doing fine. He's doing great. It's definitely the Raptors championship. Fun guy saying, what? No, Lex, please don't put down the M.A. Adoka work on the Rockets. He's totally put Alpern in amazing spots on the court. Look at his pick and roll stats. They're drastically increased. Udoka is the one. That's because that is Fred working with him. He's unlocking him. You got to open your eyes and stop hating Fred so much. Fred is unlocking that big man for Houston. And it's the chemistry between Van Vliet and Sengun that is allowing this. You can give credit to M.A., sure, but you also have to give credit to M.A. for believing in Fred and telling everybody he's the one you got to listen to. And he's like me on the court. If you're not going to listen to Fred Van Vliet, well, you're not listening to me, and you're going to have to deal with Udoka. So he's got given Fred carte blanche to be badass Captain Fred that's telling all the young Rockets to get their ass in gear. And that's the thing that we kind of needed in a way last year. If Nick had stood behind Fred a little bit better and backed him up, maybe some of the issues that happened with us wouldn't have happened the way they did, honestly. So in some ways, I think Fred did that. I mean, Nick did that on purpose because he knew he was leaving already anyway. So he wanted to screw everything up. And Fred, you got to stop slamming him, fun guy. Fred is a GOAT. Fred is a top 5 all-time great Raptor. And I'm going to protect him from everybody who slanders Fred. If I did it last year, why wouldn't I do it now? Still, even after he's gone. Because I love Fred. And Fred is a great part of our history, a great success story, somebody we should be proud of. And we got to just stop slandering him. Prophets of Rage. That's right, Carlo. Thank you. That is the band I'm talking about. The Prophets of Rage. We're going to give Carlo a dunk for information. Yeah, Prophets of Rage. Tom Morello, Chuck D. Ooh, it's nasty. You put Chuck D bars over that guitar by Morello. Ooh, that's a powerful thing. Powerful thing. Fun guy saying you're taking credit from Udoka and giving it to Fred. The statistics show Udoka absolutely reinvented Alpern's game. He would be my vote for coach of the year. Alpern's numbers amazing without Fred, bro. I'm going to disagree with you. Fun guy, we've agreed to disagree on things recently and in the past too. And I'll just disagree with you. This is something where we disagreed last year too. And I'll stand up for Fred. And I'll say that he's the one on the court making the passes and doing the synergy with Sengun. Come on, don't get it twisted. Udoka has a factor in it, but Fred is the person in the middle of it. Come on now. Come on now. Carlos saying the band of Tom Morello and Chuck D is Prophets of Rage. That's right. Thursday trivia dunk for Carlos. Yeah, he's getting that dunk. He just got it, Isaac, for sure. Fun guy saying, I can debunk you, Lex, on Fred stuff. Well, I'll debunk you right back, fun guy. Is it very fun to come after one of our groats like this? No, it's not. I will champion Fred VanVleet every single time. He's a Raptors champion. Have respect, fun guy. Come on now. Mo's saying W Stream Lex, W Vibes. Keep at it always. Good times, good times. Go Raptors. Let's keep climbing. And Tristan Phipps is saying, love seeing Jonte. Looking forward to seeing Loco. I want to get Loco healthy and come back. Stargate, thank you for the cutoff. Is anyone listening, though? Carlos saying Jonte was holding his own against Triple J. Yeah, he was holding them off pretty good. Trevor saying, Lex, you are right on. Draft day, Scotty was there, and Darko was already our coach. He called Marquise when he gets the two-way contract. Yeah, Scotty was there. Scotty was in Toronto around the draft, and they probably just say, hey, Scott, you want to come down and see how we do the draft? He's like, I'd love to do that, Masai. It could be very well that Scott has aspirations after his playing career in certain ways, and this kind of stuff can't hurt. You're going to be around the front office and see front office stuff. Well, Scott, you want to be front office someday? I'll be all about that. Let's see. Fun guy saying, no, please leave my precious Milbester alone. Carlo is saying, we really had disgusting losses this year, and Darko didn't lose the locker room and kept the message the same. Boom goes the dynamite. Carlo's exactly right. In some ways, he was working with such a hard conditions already this year, and he's gotten through it to the promised land. The light at the end of the tunnel has come. We've gotten out of that tunnel. The darkness of this earlier season's over, and now the train is going out through the sunshine, and I love it. I love it so much. Jill saying, boo-boos, Lex. I said Fred was the leader for taking responsibility for boo-boos, not bragging. Thanks for the clarity, Trevor. Okay, you meant to write boo-boos, but you wrote boobs. That's what it read to me. It said, okay, boo-boos. Listen, Fred was a lightning rod. He took a lot of the blame, and a lot of credit too. In some ways, that's a tough thing to be on a team. Him and Siakam the last couple of years were lightning rods because we won and died with them. And when we lost, everybody got critical and hated him. And it was stupid, honestly. He was the one who had the guts to make those tough shots and try and win games for us. And we saw this year, we missed him. We've missed him this year. And anybody who's saying we don't miss Fred VanVleet on our team, well, we did in 2023 of this season. We may not miss him now, but we missed him. Trust me, we missed him up until New Year's. Oh, yeah, we did. G saying, I like Milbester too. He means no harm. Yeah, we want to be friendly and inviting and accepting of all people unless they're anti-Raptors, they're insulting, and they're just a waste of time. Then they get their ass out of here quick. And Milbester is definitely not what I just described. He's a great guy, and he's a nice Knicks fan. I like him. Let's see. And Fun Guy's laughing. And Fred's saying, Fun Guy's saying, I love Fred too. But I keep it real on what I perceive, but I'm not always right anyways. No one ever is. None of us are. We're not all seeing people like the Watcher and Galactus. No, we don't see it all, and we don't understand everything. And Fun Guy, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, even though we don't exactly agree right now. Neil's saying, Lord help me, I'm having a Raptors hangover. We got 2 in a row. Bring on the Queens. Neil's got party time going on. And Jill's saying, Lex, I have advanced ADHD. When my brain goes on in-depth Knicks stuff, my brain gets a bit mushier. Sometimes you get very upset. Example, I get when you get upset in reference to Pensera because it's Raps related. There you go. I'm all about it, Jill. Y'all having your personal preferences to block certain people on this chat. I'm not against freedom. That's the one thing. I'm a champion freedom. If you want to have that freedom to block somebody because they're annoying you, go for it. I'm not going to judge you. It's no problem. Now, me running the channel, I don't want to block people unless they're not good for this channel and they're toxic. And that's it. Most saying, congratulations on the major boost to the channel. Now you know how I do it with my write-up. There you go, Monique. All right, you know what? Maybe I should go look at Monique's write-up real quick. Let me see if I can find it. Na, 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 na. Let's go look at Monique and see what she was saying last night after the game. Did you do a write-up last night, Mo? You usually do. Let me see if it's a proper write-up. Let me see. Tonight, Raptors tonight in Memphis. Let's see quickly. You got the stat lines. 3+ players with 20+ for the 9th time this season, beating the expansion cousins, winning quickly. Role definition. Assassin Siakam, ball handlers creation. Feels good having the ability to counter scoring with scoring. When defense ain't working, it's something we missed. Yes. Gotta hand Darko his flowers. He set up the motion offense with ball movement. Raptors were top 3 in assists per game, still lost because the personnel didn't fit the scheme. That was before. IQ and RJ gave everyone roles that allows this motion offense to actually execute. Raptors 14-point halftime lead is their largest on the road. Having a road trade after a road win after a trade might be a good thing for a new Raptors. No better way of connecting with your teammates than going on a road trip. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. This is all good stuff, Monique. She's got a lot written there today. So definitely check out Superfan Monique Lawrence and her write-ups after the game. She's always got good, intelligent views. Jill saying, when you get upset with Robert, it wasn't necessary to begin with because you already told him so many times. Respectfully, how I feel, I like coming here too. There you go. All right, no problem. Yeah, I got to go. And Fun Guy saying, because of the OG trade, Milbester may feel a greater connection to us now. Yeah, I think all Knicks Nation is with us at this point. All right, let me just recap real quick, and I'm going to get out of here. Just a slightly over 12. Not too bad. A 5-point win for the Raptors last night over the Memphis Grizzlies, showing that they can play from on top and kind of be the double-digit lead team. And if the other team surges up, they can hold them off, and even with a player as talented as Ja Morant. So that's fantastic. 5 stars of the game for me are Emmanuel Quickley, Pascal Siakam, Scotty Barnes, Dennis Schroeder, and Chris Boucher. The referees for the 9:05 game tonight against College Park are Danica Mosier, Julian McFadden, and Jason Alabanza. So there you go. All right, y'all. If you have a Raptor Freak Yahoo fantasy team, keep up with it. I'm in a battle right now. Ooh, this week's tough. I'm below right now. I got to get some points tonight and take over in my matchup this week. All right, y'all. Good stuff. David's saying the best was Lex trying to read the incomparable long comments by Logical written in gibberish. Lex went bonkers. Yeah, in some ways he needed to proofread. In some ways, I was hard on Mike. I love Mike, and I miss you, Mike. I'm so happy you came and commented about the trade recently, but I'd like to get you in here normally. That's right. And Dana's really hardlining on the cutoff right here. G saying, Jill, I used to get into it with people in here, but realized Lex getting mad is actually funny. And 2, he knows how to handle off-topic stuff. There you go, G. I appreciate that. Yeah, you guys have been awesome, especially my moderators like Monique, Tom, Seymour, and G. You guys have done a great job for me over the last couple of years. I appreciate you guys. You guys do a really good job. You don't do a whole lot sometimes, and that is the good job. And sometimes you do have my back, and you do understand when it's necessary to do something. I appreciate that. And yeah, let them come in. I'll talk to them first, and then afterwards, we'll see whether we need to kick them out. Fun Guy saying, Logical Raptors fanatic was a whole different level. Laughing my ass off. That guy was crazy. We love you, Mike. David's saying it right here. I'm saying it too. We absolutely love you, Logical Raptors fanatic. And with the new Raptors and the new look, I hope you're back and you can feel better about coming back and covering the team again. We miss you putting out content. We miss your presence in our live stream and what you have to say. Mike, we value you so much, and your absence during this time has been awful. In some ways, I miss you and Tom Duke so much right now, and I wish both of y'all would come back. That's right. Jill's saying, Getting mad is funny. Yeah, in some ways, we like the whole idea of me cutting promos like a wrestler. Like if somebody comes in here and says something stupid, then I just go off on them. Some people enjoy that. Some people just really enjoy seeing me blow a gasket. Is kind of what it is. Yeah. Yeah, you missed some of those days. Those days were pretty crazy. The first year of this channel, yeah, we're in our third year. It's kind of crazy to think that we've done 2 seasons already before this. We've basically been doing this channel since Scotty came to the NBA. All right, y'all. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Like I said, if you want to be involved in our Facebook chat online, join as a member. You'll get access to me live commenting during the games and other fantastic access to all kinds of news and all kinds of different perks and weird stuff too. All right. I appreciate all y'all. I hope y'all have a great Thursday. Watch the Raptors 905 play College Park tonight at 7. And we'll be back tomorrow to preview the game against the Sacramento Kings at Arco Arena tomorrow night. The Raptors. Let's see if they can get 3 in a row and get Darko's dinner. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Mike was very informative too. Yeah, he's very informative. That's part of the reason why I love him, is he could cover up some of my blind spots with salary caps and different things with the numbers that I don't necessarily like doing, like Wayne was saying earlier. Let's see. All right, guys, let's go.